Hello, Internet, and welcome back to Saturday Nights. Actually, being broadcast here on Saturday night. Uh, Thanks for hanging out with us on this lovely evening. We are unfortunately down a Savannah today, which means I'm currently captaining the streaming stuff. So bear with us and buckle up. I'm gonna blow through our announcements here, and then we'll get back into the game because we've been gone for what feels like forever. We have a lot of cool stuff coming up actually in the next week or so. We had our last session of our previous session, another session of All Myths Are True last Thursday. That will probably be going up on YouTube eventually, but you can catch it on the VODs here on our Twitch. It's a lot of fun. It's a Monster of the Week game being run by Savannah. Over the next week, we have should be another Cyberscape coming out tomorrow. We will also have a Motley Mondays on Monday that Alex is going to be running. Little one shot. I can't really promote anything because I don't know what you're doing. But if you're going to keep it a surprise, we can just wave hands.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the rest of them, disconnected from any sort of rhyme or reason. It's going to be a very silly, fun time.
More talk
And
indoors.
Barry's going to be there.
Oh, awesome. So I think you'll see most of us there on Monday. Then that'll be at 8 o'clock Eastern time ish. We will also have let me think. Wednesday, I think there'll be another Tidefall. I don't think we have anything on Thursday this week, but on next Sunday we'll have our next Slang 101, which in case you missed the last episode, or episode 3, check that out, either on the VOD or on YouTube. I think that's it as far as stuff right now for me to talk about. So I think we can jump back in, and I'll go and do our little recap here. So last time on Saturday nights, your crew, your party, had finished cleaning up the mess of the ice rats down in the coastal region of Ishvornen, and began your trek back north to finally finish up some of your quest inventory. You ran in, passing back through Breck along the way, got to see a little bit of what they're doing there and how things are shaping up since your quick exit after the untimely death of the mayor of Breck. You met a new companion along the way, a charming individual named Finn, who had been pretending to be a member of the of your guild, and you decided to make it official and ask them to join you. And after passing through the small hamlet, you began your journey towards Quildun, but decided to take a brief pit stop over at the lair of the Lone Eye, where you advise Krillock, the Beholder, of your defeat of the other bandit leaders, and picked up your buddy Matthias along the way. Krillock gave you a few more cryptic clues to the identity of the bandit king, and you went back to Quildun to see what was going on there, and hopefully set your sights and then finally take the battle to the Bandit King themselves. Upon arriving in Quildun, Chad recognized some carts outside of the city. They were flying the banners of his house, the steward of Glanbala. You went for an audience with Council Lord Alabaster, ran into some familiar faces, but to see mom and dad, check in with the folks, and upon speaking with the council lord and collecting your reward, there was a moment where the amulet that Chad was wearing began to glow, and he, seemingly without any reason, rushed towards the council lord and began to attack him. And that's where we're going to pick up our session. Get some good music here. I need you all to roll initiative.
Okay.
I'm not gonna roll for her. So what I'm gonna do for the NPCs, because there's a lot of them, is I'm just gonna put them all on initiative count 10.
Let's. This one.
Yes, and that 20.
That's good.
Nice.
12 plus. Is it?
Well, I did better than roll 20, but not by much.
Oh heck, Barry, that's so high.
Yeah.
That's nothing, right?
Sheesh.
Let me roll for Matthias. I'll do his separately from the rest of the NPCs. And
Bucklers are amazing.
yeah, let me get up all these character sheets. Now, I apologize to anyone in the chat because I'm the one streaming it. I can't show you the battle map, but we're going to be as descriptive as we can. There was an image last time of the map itself. Maybe one of our awesome players can take a screenshot or something and post that in the Discord so you can watch it. Or see that later, get kind of a visual clue. But you guys are in the council lord's kind of throne room. Lord and Lady Museldorf are there. Council Lord Alabaster is at the bottom of the steps of the dais that leads up to his seat, and Chad is right by him, and there are a couple of guards in the room too. Is there anybody else? No. Okay, so descending.
The initiative for the gem to absorb people.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Please cancel Lord Alabaster in the gem, please say.
We're gonna resolve that in a second.
No, that would be bad.
So, first off is gonna be Finn. You have just seen Chad strike the Council Lord. I imagine there's a lot of confused faces around you, but you don't know why Chad did this. What do you do?
Okay, I'm going to put my monocle on because you gotta look professional in these times, and say the phrase to make that work.
Okay. So you use, is that your, I think it's your action to activate, or is it a bonus action? Does it say on the thing?
Good question. You'd think I would have checked this in that time.
I gotcha.
As an action.
As an action, okay.
That's cool. I don't really know what's happening in this fight anyway.
That's fair. So you pop on the monocle and use your action to activate the gem of seeing. You're able to kind of trying to get an idea if there's anything in the room that you're unable to see currently. With your
true sight, whatever that is.
Yeah, with your true sight, you scan the room. You don't see anything currently obscured. You don't see any invisible creatures or anything lurking around. Currently you don't notice anything otherwise. If you want to make a perception check on your next turn, you can. But you have activated it, and just with your what's your passive right now? It's like
19.
19. It's very high. But you don't see anything hiding currently. You're not catching anything with your passive perception.
Okay. Well, apart from that, I will probably just say to Chad, I said you could kill them, not that you should. In the motivational speech last session, trying to calm him down. I was like, just remember, you can kill them. That wasn't an instruction saying you should. And then yeah, I guess I'll just move up and try and protect him. I don't know why I'm trying to protect him. I'm definitely not going to be able to hold him because I'm not that strong.
Okay. So you step forward to kind of intervene, trying to get an idea of what's going on, but hanging back a little bit. Okay. Hilda.
Okay. So so Chad like ran forward, attacked Alabaster. Is he just like dead set on that, or does it seem like he's aware of his surroundings, or is he just like gotta take out this target? Is there a way I can determine?
You could make an insight check.
Okay. Yeah. Let's do that. All right. This one. I don't know what my thing for insight is. Hang on. That's 15.
15. Okay. I think you know Chad. I think you know Chad pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what you see in Chad is kind of currently, based on seeing his back and seeing him attack, and kind of the look on his face that you're being able to catch from your current perspective. He seems very focused on the Council Lord. Like that is his sole objective right now, is to attack the. You don't see him looking at anybody else. The guards are raising their stabs. He doesn't even seem to be looking at them. Has no sort of sense. Yeah, no sense of anything else going on in the room. Just looking at the Council Lord.
Okay. Well, in that case, let's just everybody calm down, and she's going to cast a web. All up in there.
Okay.
It's 25. Let me click the thing. Where does it click? It's a 20-foot cube.
20-foot cube. Okay. Do you want to draw a cube on?
Yeah, let's see. Draw shape. Aha. Okay.
So 4 square.
Yeah. So wait, 4. Is that 4 across? No, wait. That's 4 across. Just like so.
Okay, right there.
Yes.
Perfect. Is there a saving throw? Or wait, I haven't.
It's difficult terrain.
Dexterity throw. That starts its turn. Dex saving throw.
Okay. So
Yeah, if they fail, then they're restrained.
Okay. So we'll resolve that as the people that are in the cube.
Okay. And as I'm sort of casting it, the web they sort of look different. They like swirl around differently than normal. And I'm changing the saving throw to intelligence, as it sort of like this, like kind of almost like makes this like puzzle effect. And it's like very confusing to look at.
I like it. Perfect. So it's like prismatic, kind of weird, like kaleidoscopic effect is taking.
Yeah. It's just like, what is happening? Can't see very well.
I like it.
Okay.
Cool. So that'll be. You're moving anywhere? Or you're gonna stay where you're at?
I'm gonna get a little bit closer. Oh wait, I need to change my thing, or else I'll keep just drawing squares all day.
For those of you at home, it's myself and the Council Lord in the web, and maybe like the foot of one of the guards.
Yeah, half of
Yeah.
is in the web.
Yeah, it's mostly just Chad and the Council Lord, and yeah, I was gonna get closer, just a little bit, and be like, Chad, what is going on?
Okay.
Attention.
That'll be Matthias's turn. I think he's in much the same situation as the rest of you. It's kind of like, why are we doing this? What's happening? And he is going to. Oof. Yeah, I don't think he's really got much to do here. He'll step forward with you, Hilda. And yeah, I don't think he's actually going to do anything. He looks like he's thinking about casting a spell, is kind of beginning to, but is not going to do anything just yet until he sees what happens. That'll put it to the NPC's turn. So the as everything, the tension kind of builds in this room, there's also a kind of a humming and the smell of ozone in the air, and there is a crack and lightning comes shooting. I think Jules was the one that was holding the stone, or was
I think I had it last.
Hilda?
Yeah.
Yeah, the lightning comes rocketing out and striking Jules where she stands, and she disappears.
New. It doesn't grab either of his parents.
Nope.
Okay, good.
Nope, just Jules. The rest of the NPC's turn. Lord and Lady Museldorf kind of run towards getting away from some of the activity here towards the side of the room. Rethic, the guard captain, steps up close to them to defend them from looks to be your general vicinity from all of you. The two guards draw their spears. The one that's in the web is going to have to make an intelligence save.
Yes.
Okay. See how that goes.
He
Intelligence.
is 15.
15. That's 3. So is he restrained? What is the
Yeah, they're restrained. They can make a strength save.
as an action?
Yeah.
Strength check. Okay, gotcha. So
Or apparently could light that shit on fire. It's very flammable.
yeah, I don't think he has anything to start a fight unless he wants to dip his spear in the brazier over there. So I don't think he's gonna do anything just yet. It's kind of pulling against the webs. He'll use his action to try to break himself free. Actually, that'll be what he does. Strength check. That's a 12. He fails that, so he's just pulling against it, and his hands are getting caught in it too and stuck, and he's just wrapping himself in even more. The other guard comes stepping over here. I think he's gonna push his way into the webs towards Chad. He doesn't. I don't think he makes a save unless he starts his turn there, right? So he can push his way
Correct.
through.
Yeah.
It's just difficult terrain, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
difficult to
Or
range.
enters them during its turn.
Oh, or enters. Okay.
Yeah.
So he'll
Yeah.
push his way in. Not really thinking he can do better than the other guard. That's a natural 20.
Oh, dang, son.
So he actually
did do better.
He's doing good. It's still half movement, so he'll have to use most of the movement just to get to Chad. And he is going to strike at Chad with his spear. Try to knock you away. That's 12, so I think that misses you.
That meets because I'm not wearing my armor.
That's right. I forgot you're not wearing armor. Let's make this much easier. It's 4 piercing damage.
Okay.
Council Lord Alabaster is also in the webs. He's gonna make an intelligence save. That's a 4. So he is also restrained by these translucent, hypnotic webs. Well, actually, he's gonna reroll that. He's gonna try once more to do that. Nope, he doesn't get it. So he is going to instead, since he can't move, he's gonna make an attack roll against Chad with drawing his rapier from his side. That'll be a disadvantage for him because he's restrained. That's a 24 on the first one, 16 on the second one,
So that'll hit.
and 11 on the third.
11 does not hit.
Okay. And Chad, actually, I need you from the first damage that you took. I need you to make another wisdom save, I believe.
Okay. Well, that's a 2.
That fails.
Yep.
Let me double check that it's wisdom. Not that I don't think that'll make a difference. Yeah, wisdom. So that fails. So he's gonna deal total of 30 points of piercing damage.
With just a rapier?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because he has, let me double check this, because has more than half of his total hit points. Yeah. So he deals additional damage.
Cards don't mess around.
Yeah. He is still very stuck. And Chad, you get to make 2 more wisdom saves.
Okay. Let's use some different d20s. That's a 1
That's a fail.
and a 3.
That's a fail. Okay.
All my d20s are failing me.
Sebastian also kind of moves. He comes running around his table and running towards the exit. But he doesn't run, not like he's trying to escape. He gets towards the doors and he begins shouting for the guards outside. And it is Chad's turn.
All right. Well, I guess to start things off, I need to
I accidentally moved Lord Alabaster. Sorry, go ahead.
make the int save for the web.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That's a 3. Rolled a 5 minus 2.
Oh, you're stuck.
Yep. So, no, I guess you tell me, Sean, would I try and attack while restrained or try and use my action to break free?
I think you're going to attack.
Okay.
That is your only desire right now is to kill the man in front of you.
Okay, well, I have to bring one of the naughty d20s back in because I've already cycled through all of them.
Oh no. Just need to get you like a pound of d20s.
Well, I do have a pound of dice that some are probably in there. Well, that's a natural 1 disadvantaged.
That'll miss.
So now my second attack. Okay, that is going to be 17 to hit.
That'll hit.
Okay. That was pretty much max damage because I'm using Dragon Maru. That is 15 slashing.
Okay. Do you have any maneuvers that'll deal additional damage?
Oh, some of them certainly. Just got to figure out which one would make the most sense. Maybe I will try and use my brand new menacing strike. So needs to make a wisdom save.
Okay.
Oh no.
And because I hit, I do get to add the damage. So let me roll that.
That's a natural 1 on his end, so that's a big no from me, dog.
And that was a 9 on additional damage.
All right, and he's afraid now?
Yes, until the end of my next turn.
Perfect. Okay, so you strike him. You swing the first time. Your axe getting caught in the webs. You're unable to pull through. You finally rip the axe free, and you kind of slam into him. Not really even getting so much of the slashing at it, but just the pure brute force of like thrusting the heft of the axe straight into his chest, and he staggers backwards and his eyes go wide. And he's an older guy, and he seems like he's been in a lot of battles and has experienced a lot. And I think there is a moment of sort of this respect of a dangerous enemy in front of him. You have your action surge, right?
Yeah.
I'd like
All
you
right.
to go ahead and use that.
Okay. So let me roll another attack. That's the same as before, another 17 to hit.
Yeah, that'll
For that is oh, this always trips me up because the way the sheet is set up, it doesn't show the extra +1 for it being a magic weapon, so I have to remember that. So that is 13 slashing,
Okay.
and I think if I'm using my maneuvers when I hit this time, I will try a trip attack
Okay.
to make a strength save.
Does restrain give you disadvantage on strength? I think it's just dex saves. I don't think it affects strength.
He also takes 4 extra damage.
Okay. Minus 4. No, just dexterity save. So he's gonna make a strength saving throw. That's a 17.
That's fine, so he's still up.
Still up.
But my next attack. That's even better. So that's like a 21 to hit. Or no, a dirty 20. But
Yeah.
and why am I rolling so well on the damage? That's max damage, so that's 16 slashing. And which maneuver would make the most sense this time? Maybe this time I will do a sweeping attack and also hit the guard that's next to us.
Yeah.
So, let me go ahead and put that in the chat. If the original attack roll would hit the second creature, it takes damage equal to the number I roll on the superiority die.
Okay. So was that the 4, or did you roll? Or you have another?
This is another one. The 4 was from the trip.
Okay.
So he's going to take just 5 damage.
Okay. That kind of fucks up the guard a lot. Just from the one hit. The 4 strikes against the Council Lord. I keep moving him. The 4 strikes against the Council Lord have messed him up in a very big way. He's still alive, but is looking pretty hurt. The guard taking that last kind of follow through from the attack. Chad not even just a whirling dervish of blades, striking the guard, who is almost knocked off of his feet from that.
I should double check just to make sure. Frightened, I don't get advantage. You would just have disadvantage.
I believe you are correct.
Yeah. So then, yeah, and then I suppose for my bonus action, I would probably use Second Wind to try and heal up.
Yeah, sure.
If all I'm doing is trying to take him down and not go down myself.
Yeah.
So let me roll the d10. That's the full 10, so I got 20 health back.
Oh my
Jeez.
gosh.
All right. That's gonna be Finn's turn. What do you do after having seen all of this now?
Versus, what the fuck happened to the Ice Genasi lady? I haven't witnessed that gym in person.
Oh yeah, I was first time seeing that.
She's the only person who can restrain this guy. I have -2 to my strength.
Well, I am already restrained.
I'm saying, but like grapple and like drag you away. I ain't doing that. Okay, so if I'm doing a perception check, it costs me something, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, well I'm not doing that then.
Okay.
Because so Ben would be muttering to himself he doesn't want to use, but he may have to. He's like arguing with himself. I'm gonna step in here. Intelligence saving is a 16.
That makes it.
Nice.
Okay, so I'm not restrained.
It is still. I think it's still
Difficult terrain.
difficult. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna declare. Can we make it non-lethal damage? Like just
Yeah.
I'm non-lethal, and I'm declaring to it like the guards and Lord. Stupid face. Don't kill him.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go all out on this guy.
On Chad.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try and attack him with just my normal rapier,
Okay.
which is 7 plus 6 to hit 13, which I believe does because you
Yep.
are.
Because I'm practically naked. I mean, I do have my shield, but
And clothes, I hope.
yes, but in terms of armor, yeah, my AC is 12 currently.
Okay, so that is 5 piercing, and because I am super amazing and a swashbuckler, I get sneak attack on you because no one else is within 5 feet of me and I didn't have disadvantage.
Nice. So
So-
roll your damage.
6, 10, 14 sneak attack.
Okay, so 19 total.
And then, because I ended up taking that feat which you showed me, DM,
Mhm.
the mastery one, and I always have, unless I've specified what weapon I've got
Yeah.
summoned, it's going to be the other one. So I'm going to pull that one out from underneath my coat and I'm going to shoot this motherfucker.
Okay.
So that is a nat 20.
Oh crap. Okay.
I kind of feel bad for you. So that is 2d12 plus 6. Do you roll 2 die or do you roll 1 and double?
You're gonna roll. How do I have you guys do it for? I can't remember now. I think I have you guys just double it.
Oh, it's been a while. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I think
Just
there have been times where I've just rolled twice the dice, but
I don't care. Whatever's easier.
I was rolled twice. So that is a 4 and a 7. That is 11 plus 6. So 17.
okay.
And there is a
I can put the picture in the Discord channel.
there's a crack, an explosion as Finn draws from beneath his coat well, I guess you guys have all seen a firearm now. This well, I'll let you describe it, Barry.
Just trying to quickly find this picture so I can. Where is our chat? It is a fancy looking pistol. It pretty much looks like a dragon. So see, I'm Australian, so I don't really know gun parts. The barrel bit, it kind of shoots out of a dragon's mouth. I'll just send the picture in Discord,
Yeah,
and
if I remember
someone
right,
else can describe this.
yeah, it's this so the gleaming sort of goldish bronze pistol with the head of a dragon at the
That's cool.
barrel, and this tail that kind of curls down to the becoming the handle and forming the trigger mechanism of the pistol. And there's a glowing gem on where the flint would be, and it sparks as he fires the gun non-lethally into Chad's calf or something. Chad, I need you to make some more saving throws for each, I guess 2 more saving throws
Okay.
of the wisdom variety.
Yeah, Billy doesn't want to shoot you, Chad.
That's a 6. That's a 17.
Okay, hold on. Let me check.
I don't think that was good enough last time.
Let me check, because I think you might. No. A 17 is, I think you rolled a 16 last time, because the 17 is exactly what you needed. So, Chad. Let me double check I didn't change that. Well, we're going to go with it, because I need to, there are stats and things like that I need to check. Yeah, Chad, suddenly that whatever was driving you to attack the Council Lord breaks. You aren't sure what, the pain kind of coming through at that moment, but you no longer have that drive. It's not your turn currently.
Yep.
you're free of that control, and you see the damage you have wrought.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, can I just unsummon that gun for no action?
As your bonus action.
No, my bonus action was to shoot. Is it an action or bonus action to conjure or deconjure, or is it
To
just
dismiss it.
I'm quickly trying to find. Pact of the Blade. No action required to dismiss it.
Yeah, so you can dismiss it if you want.
I'll just dismiss it, so then if somebody goes, "Was that a gun?" I'll be like, "No, what? Just know what you're talking about."
We will see how that works. Okay, and dismiss it. You dismiss it at the end of your turn. Hilda, is your turn now.
Okay.
I will give you this. I'm assuming, Chad, that your posture sort of changes a little bit. You kind of see Chad pull back after that last gunshot rings out, and Chad seems to be acting less hostile towards the council lord.
Okay. All right. Well, shoot. I just realized what I can't get close enough. Okay. Well, actually, at the start, so it's my turn, and so the web actually dissipates because it's not like strung between. Not like a wall or anything. That's like one of the things in the spell is that it dispense at the end of your next turn.
But it's on the ground though.
Dissipate, or is it just on the ground now?
If the webs aren't anchored between two solid masses or laid across the floor, it's so if you were going to hang it up like a hammock.
Okay. Oh, okay. So then I guess it's on the ground. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll be more aware of that next time. Okay.
Yeah. Oh no. Okay, I see. If the webs aren't anchored between two solid masses or layered
Yeah.
across the floor, wall, or ceiling, the contra web collapses on. So it's still layered across the floor. So you can drop concentration on it if you want.
Yeah, I think I will.
Okay.
So let's see. Can I? Doop. Okay. So the spell sort of like dissipates and like say that like Chad has slightly changed his posture. She's gonna let's see. Get up close to like the council lord and cure wounds on him.
Okay.
Because he probably looks very rough right now. Chad hit him a lot.
Okay.
I'm assuming he looks rough. Maybe he looks fine.
He does look pretty rough.
Okay. So yeah, I was going to cure wounds this guy.
He is bloodied, I should say.
Okay. What is that? That is a D8. Okay. Where's my D8? There it is. I'm gonna do it at 3rd level. So 6. 9. Okay, so he gets 20 heaps back.
All right. 20 heaps.
Okay, and that was a bonus, right? No, that's one action. Okay.
Yeah, cure wounds is an action.
Okay. And then, because I'm small, I can sort of slip between people's spaces.
Yeah.
I take it that I can slip through the council lord space.
Sure.
Because I'm not actively opposing him, and it's just kind of gonna like get sort of in front of him and Chad and be like, "What is going on?"
All right.
Very imposing, 3 foot tall.
Matthias, also confused, doesn't cast the spell that he was going to cast. Instead, he kind of like mutters under his breath a bit. And Chad, he's going to heal you.
Sneaky heals.
Using his healing light. We can spend equals your charisma modifier, which is 5. So he's gonna do 5d6. That's 15 heals to you. And that's all he's got. So it's gonna be the NPC's turns now. So here's what happens: the Council Lord takes a step back towards the throne. He is kind of bleeding through his coat. Drops the which has kind of been staunched given the magical healing you've given Hilda. Drops the bloody rapier covered in Chad's blood onto the ground, and
He's frightened, isn't he?
yeah,
So frightened of me.
yeah.
Run for the hills.
But he steps back and he drops on the ground and he looks to the guards, who you see more guards running into the room from outside. Response time not terribly bad. And he, we're gonna go ahead and say we're out of initiative right now, because it doesn't seem like anybody's being outright hostile towards anyone else. He gives he's still in that kind of frightened state. He looks at Chad and he points and he says, "Seize him." And the guards begin to rush in towards Chad.
How aware am I of what happened, or am I just like, wait, what's going on?
You know what happened.
Okay. So as soon as I can, I'm dropping Dragon Maru, getting down on my knees, hands behind my head, and just saying, I was under the effects of an evil artifact. I apologize for any harm I have done.
Okay. Hilda's gonna cast Mage Hand and try to grab that the amulet out of Chad's. You said it was like in his pouch, right?
Yeah, pouch on his back, waist. Because you were looking into it.
Yeah. So it's gonna pull that out.
Okay.
Using the Mage Hand to sort of grab it.
Are you trying to like do this sneakily, or are you just casting?
Just doing it openly.
Okay.
Can I make a scene? Start talking to the landlady and be like, "This is bullshit. That is my client. You are not going anywhere near."
And now Finn's an attorney.
What?
Okay. So I think what happens, they maybe don't notice. They're really focused on Chad right now, as they move in towards him, and they don't really notice you, Hilda, kind of casting your spell. Mage Hand not being a really complicated spell to cast. They do see the amulet now rising out of Chad's bag, and
Is it shining?
it is not shining anymore. No, it is dim. The guard, however, sees that and kind of swats at it with his spear, just like reflexively, just kind of like, just stabbing at it as he sees this amulet hovering into the air.
Leave it alone. We don't know what it does.
I'm just gonna.
Well, I mean, obviously we
we
know what it does.
See how well he. That's a natural 20.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm glad it's on the amulet and not on Chad. He just like.
I can't believe that's what they rolled the natural 20 on at this point. Okay, yeah, the guard
real
stabs the amulet. It's just kind of bats it out of the air like a T-ball, and it goes across the ground. It doesn't seem like it's shattered or anything, but it is kind of, I think, goes skittering underneath the table of the steward over next to the dais.
Now look what you've done.
He says, as he's holding the spear towards Chad, he says, "Seems like they're using some kind of magic." And the rest of them are moving in as well. So Chad, you're not resisting arrest.
No.
They do kind of pull you to your feet and slap a set of manacles, probably 2 sets of manacles, on your arms, just out of sheer panic.
Okay. Hilda's gonna turn around to look at the counselor and be like, "Counselor Alabaster, while we were traveling, we picked up that artifact, and I think it's, for some reason, compelled Chad to attack you."
The council lord, who I think at this point is no longer scared, kind of shakes that off and takes a step forward, wincing as he feels the pain across his chest and the bruises and welts and gashes, and looks up and looks at you, and looks over towards where that amulet that you were pointing out has skidded to, and I think Sebastian, the steward, retrieves it from underneath the table, sort of holding it up, just like with a couple of fingers, like way out, like he's not quite sure what it does. The council lord says, I don't know what to make of all of this. I looks over towards Lord and Lady Museldorf, who are still kind of huddled towards the side of the room, looks of fear, and probably from Lord Museldorf a little bit of horror and shame across his face, and says, it looks at them, or Councilor Outmaster says, I take it you had no knowledge of any of this. Lord Museldorf says, my lord, I had no prior knowledge that anything like this would. You have to believe. Glanbala wants nothing but the best relations with Quildan, and we would never do anything to jeopardize that. I haven't. My son and I haven't spoken for many months, but I don't think he would do something like this. And he looks to you, Chad, with, again, this look of confusion and betrayal on his face, almost slightly. And anyway, so the counselor turns back to you, Hilda.
I would like to insight my dad and stepmom to see about their expressions. See if maybe mom is like, this. I was expecting this to happen.
Maybe.
I don't know if I need to make separate rolls for each of them.
No, we'll do one insight check.
Okay.
Well, that's happening because I just perused the room with my monocle.
Okay.
Let's just calm down.
Yeah, that's a 12 on insight.
Okay. You look over at the two of them. Like I said, the expression, a very conflicted expression across your father, and you see the look that you've seen before, maybe when you got in like fights with other of the young like noblings at court, or other times when you were younger. Kind of, it calls back that moment of like wanting to protect you, but there's a sense of station and conflict there, and you're seeing that look of uncertainty, but wanting to protect you. Your stepmother, you don't really see too much concern on her face, but I don't think you really would have expected her to be too concerned. There's sort of a sneer of somebody being proven right, I think. But a look of surprise and disgust as well. And that's what you get from the two of them. And Finn, you rolled a 27 on your perception check. Is looking around the room. You see the guards pushing in. You see Sebastian holding the amulet. You don't see anybody in the room. What you do notice is from the open doors that lead outside, into the courtyard, out, like where you came from, outside of the beacon. You do see a figure walking away, whereas most people are walking towards the chaos and the uncertainty and the excitement that's coming on, that's kind of building around here right now. People trying to look into the room. You see a very tall figure pushing their way, or not really so much pushing their way to the crowd. They don't seem to be really interacting with anybody, and nobody seems to really be noticing them. But you see this tall person. And as they turn their heads, I think what catches you most about them is they have a horse head instead of a human head. But they are currently moving away and quickly leaving your vicinity. Probably about
Bloody reverse centaurs.
yeah, that's what it is.
That's all he mutters underneath his breath.
It's like some sort of conspiracy theory.
I knew it.
Hilda,
It's not listenable.
I'm gonna have you make a persuasion check because I should have had you do that before when you made your comment on the.
Okay, cool. Persuasion. Doop boop. Let's roll this one. That is a 29.
Okay, 29.
Very persuasive.
That's pretty
today.
damn persuasive. I'm sorry, I'm looking for good music to put on right now, and I don't really. We'll just do this.
We could talk our way through anything right now.
Yeah. He's just like, all right, here you go, free to go. No harm, no foul. No, the council lord, I think, slumps back into his chair. It seems less frightened. He's calming down, takes a breath. You see one of the attendants coming over and beginning to look at his wounds, and he kind of waves them off. As he looks over all of you, the guards are sort of pushing you guys away from the throne as they're pulling Chad away as well with the manacles. And he says, for all the good that you've done here and the rest of the Hope of Vagrants, wasn't there one more with you?
Nah, that's Matthias. He's been here the whole time.
Make a deception check.
Really?
I mean, yes, I'm going to make you make the check. The fact that I'm even letting you make the check.
That's an 18?
I think he gives you a scrutinizing look. I don't know. You don't know if he believes you or not, but he doesn't push any further on that. He says, I don't know what to make of all of this.
Neither do we, sir, but I can assure you that this is not any of our intentions. That something, I think, controlled Chad and wanted to kill you.
Sebastian, who's again holding, has his walking cane and has the amulet at the end of it, says, my lord, I can bring this to the arcane circle and have them attempt to identify it. Maybe provide us with some more insight on this, the validity of their story.
I would like to come as well. That was the plan when we came into town to figure out more about this.
The council lord nods at that and says, that seems to be the cleanest way of clearing the air here. However, given what's happened, I can't really have cats trying to
Can't have any cats.
Give me 1 second.
Oh man.
If only we had Jules who could zone of truth everything and just.
Oh yeah, that would be great.
Says,
I cannot do this thing.
we're going to need to detain. Oh my god, they started again, almost immediately. It says, we're going to need to detain you for the time being until we can verify the story. Guards, take young Lord Museldorf here to the prison, and we'll decide what to do with him as soon as we can clarify the rest of what happened here. The rest of you, looking at Hilda and Finn and Matthias, and whoever else you have here, we're also going to need to keep an eye on you while you're in the city for the time being. If you want to be a part of this investigation, you are given your prior track record here in assisting us with prior matters. I see no reason that you can't help with that under the supervision of the guard. But you will not be allowed to leave the city in the meantime.
All right, that's understood.
All right, then. I'd like everyone to leave now. He winces again as he raises his voice. And Lord and Lady Museldorf begin to make their way towards the doors. The guards begin to pull Chad out of the room as well. And Matthias, Finn, and Hilda also
Can I kind of get Chad's weapon and be like, can we hold on to this? You know?
It's a very heavy weapon, but yes, you can pick it up.
I'll drag it. I don't get some my sword.
Drag it behind you. Yeah, they strip him just any of his weapons, and you can pick those up for him.
If we're being escorted by guards, we might want them to carry it for me.
The guard looks at you and he says,
I'll ask nicely.
"All right, what do you say?"
Look, can you please carry this? You know, like, it is evidence. I don't want to be accused of tampering with anything. So if you want to carry it, just back to all of your stuff.
Make a persuasion
Please?
check.
Oh, I do these at advantage. And that is 11 plus 13, 24.
He looks at it and says, "Oh, right, it's evidence. I shouldn't take that." He picks up the weapons and grabs them off the ground and begins to walk them towards the door. He doesn't look like he's going to give them. It doesn't look like he's going to give them back to you. Huh?
What tavern are we staying at so I can tell him when to go drop it off?
Iron Creek Inn.
Yeah.
We just at the Iron Creek Inn, you know, upset state hours.
Like you said, it's evidence. We're going to have to.
And did you not just hear Lord Alabaster? We're going to assist with the investigation. That's where all my equipment is. That's where the investigation is going to begin. Trust me.
But these aren't yours. These are
evidence, and I'm investigating. Just trust me. You know, just drop it off at the end. Everything's all cool.
Kind of like the other guard's already moved out, so he doesn't have don't want anyone to confer with. He's kind of by himself, holding all of these, and he kind of.
I'll go talk to him. I'll be like, "You are
no.
You are hindering this investigation. The attempt on your council leader's life, and you are hindering it."
All right. I'll bring it there.
Thank you. And he'll fix up his tie and be like, "Gosh, some people."
And he quickly begins to shuffle out of the room and towards the direction of your inn.
Before Chad is taken away, they're just gonna sort of grab on them and be like, "We're gonna figure this out. We'll be back to visit you very quickly."
Hopefully they allow me visitors and my chance to explain things and I'm not just left to rot, but I trust you'll be able to figure things out.
We'll get to the bottom of this. Plus, we've got this new friend who's good at talking people up, so maybe they'll make a special visit.
Oh, Chad's guilty. Throw him in. Give him the book. Full life sentence. Right. Now we got this. But I'm going to turn to, is it Hilda or Hild?
Hilda.
Hilda. It's just the E got me something.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn around and a very serious look at you and go, and you need to tell me a lot of things.
Okay.
We need to talk. Where's the other person? What the fuck?
Matthias is also wait, yeah, I also kind of want to know where
all right, well, yeah, let's go back to the inn.
I don't think he was there the first time that happened.
No, he wasn't. We got it after he was with Krillog, so.
Okay, so you're escorted out of the room. Chad is taken to the prison, the cells that are kind of beneath, like at the lowest level of the city. There's like a guards barracks, and the prison or the stockade is actually like underground there. So you're taken there, Chad, and put in a cell. I have a couple of I have some visitors for Chad and scenes I want to do with him, but I want to intersperse those with what you guys, Hilda and Finn, are doing in the city. So the first thing I'll ask is, Hilda and Finn, you guys get back to the Iron Creek Inn. Chad's stuff is...
I thank the guard, excellent. I'll talk to your boss, okay? I will let him know you helped a lot. You are a key part, you're an integral part of this investigation. It wouldn't be succeeded without you.
Yeah, I waited here because I didn't know if you needed to watch the evidence. I didn't want it to be taken, so I'll leave
Smart man, I'll give him a gold coin and be like, you've done your job. Like,
he takes it.
Go along now.
Oh,
just
thank you, sir.
Leave. Go. Bye. Now, out, and I'll start pushing.
So Hilda, Finn, and Matthias.
Okay. Okay, well they mentioned that Arcanum place. I'd like to go there at some point and figure out what they learned about the amulet, if anything.
First, I want to know what the hell is that amulet.
But
Where'd
yeah.
you get that amulet, and where is our cleric?
Yes. Okay. So
No one who knows the origins of the amulet is here.
Oops. I can only tell you what I know.
Yeah, that's more than what I do.
Well, first off, you asked where's Jules. This rock that we have, we're still figuring it out, but essentially sometimes it activates and sort of sucks people into it.
Okay.
Some sort of planar dimension. We've all sort of been in there for a minute. It's very nice in there. It's not like terrible. Time passes all weird. It's kind of wibbly. But so that's where Jules is. She's in the rock with some friends. There's quite a few people in there now that I think about it.
Only friends?
Yeah. There's also a couple not friends, and there might be people in it that we didn't even know about from before we got it. So,
okay,
anyways, Mystery Rock.
Stay away from the Pokeball. Gotcha.
Yeah. I mean, but we don't want to get rid of it because friends inside, so it's a whole thing.
Okay.
So that's the first question. The amulet. Well, Chad got the amulet from sort of a deal that was made.
A
This
deal
deal-
with...
Well, a deal with an Arabis. They're sort of.
What?
They're a
Do
fiendish.
I know what that is?
An Arabis? I don't know.
Voice in the sky?
You can make an
Think about it.
Arcana check.
Okay, let's make an Arcana check. I'll do this so... That's pretty good.
15. I think you know it's a type of devil. Beyond that, I think you maybe have picked up a couple like stories, maybe read something about one. I mean, you don't know too much specifically, but you know it's a type of devil. You know they are very sort of manipulative creatures, and they're very powerful.
But I don't know what they look like.
I don't think you do with a 15.
Okay. Why would he make a deal with one of them? Like, do you know one of them? How many of them do you know?
Well, we tangled
So
with one
Friends?
before in particular. No, it is not a friend, but apparently we have a similar goal. This Arabis, well, from what he told us, which I wasn't actually there for any of this. Heard this all from Chet and Jules because I was in the rock at the time. But apparently the Arabis is serving the Bandit King and wanted to get rid of said person, and was like, "Hey, I'll give you this awesome amulet that helps you know where the Bandit King is. You just have to give me the rights to your soul for a while." So that's the sort of deal that Chad made.
And if I'm going to keep an eye out for crazy, creepy dude who wants people's souls.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of sticks out on Arabis. It's got sort of like a horse head and body, and
Tall.
yeah, very tall.
Reverse centaurs again.
Yeah, so
Probably should let you know I saw one of those.
where? Like here in the city?
After
Or-
Chad got arrested, while Chad was being arrested. Yeah, while I was being arrested.
Well,
I'll
odds
check the
are-
stables. That's where I'd be if I.
well, these are very
Where he can blend in.
perfectly.
Just look down the stalls and it's just horse heads leaning over. Like, it's only horses in here. Track.
Trapped. Horses all the way down. Well, that's disconcerting because I feel like there's details of this deal that obviously the Rabus left out, and I think he might have had a hand. If he was actually here when Chad sort of was attacking the Council Lord, then I think they're the one to blame for it. Though it's weird that he would have Chad attack the Council Lord, though, because he told us that he wanted to get rid of the Bandits King.
Because they're completely trustworthy and
Yeah, basically.
completely face value. And when they don't do anything in a contract that isn't. There's no tricks. And there's my dog.
You have a dog now. Street dog.
Damn street dogs. But yeah, should we let the guards know about Mr. Centaur?
I mean, I feel like they would have seen it.
Well, we kind of did have a party member trying to kill their lord, so
That's true. So we should let them know about this Arabis. And we should maybe track it down. Maybe you could show me where it was. To maybe figure things out. I know that maybe the amulet might be a way to sort of find him, since he is the one who gave us that amulet. So maybe we go there and see what they figured out about it, because we didn't have the proper time or tools to sort of to evaluate this amulet. It was supposed to just light up when the Bandit King was in the room, or whoever was wearing it see it. That part is a little unclear,
okay.
but it was supposed to sort of activate in the presence of the Bandit King.
Though the horse dude was around and activated.
So we look into that. It would be good to go back and visit Chad and see if he remembers anything from what happened. I mean, it seems like he was sort of very focused on killing the Council Lord, which is a little bit upsetting. Because Chad is really good at killing stuff.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and forge a thing which says that I'm a lawyer. I can get into chat.
Sure. Go ahead and make a check with your forger's tools using intelligence.
Using intelligence. Ooh.
Yeah.
That is an 11.
11. Okay.
That's not my best roll.
It's not your best. There's a lot of stuff I don't think you know about the legal system here Ishvornen. Lot of guesses you had to make, and you're not sure if it will stand up to it. I'll say it looks nice. You're not sure if it'll stand up to close scrutiny.
I'm confident I can bullshit my way through this if they ask questions.
Okay. All right. So Hilda and Finn, you guys are preparing to make your investigations. So you guys can decide where you're going to go first.
Mhm.
I'm going to go to Chad in the interim. Chad, you are taken down through the city streets, kind of dragged through by the guards. There are lots of people on the way. There are crowds that are parted by the guards that are currently walking you through the city streets, and you are sort of there's a lot of animosity thrown your way all along. I mean, people don't know. I don't think the circumstances of your arrest have been made clear, but being a tiefling and being currently in chains, I think people are assuming it's bad, and it's a very awkward, very uncomfortable walk to your cell. Finally, you're led through the barracks and down a set of cold stone steps to a subterranean prison. You're led down a series of hallways until you are thrown into a cell. It's musty. It is dark. There is an oil lantern that is burning on the wall outside of your cell that's giving you just enough light to be able to see, and it's quiet. There's a cell across from you, but there's nobody in it currently. Just sort of this pitch, as far as you can tell, there's just sort of this pitch black beyond, and it's about like a 15 foot, 20 foot by 20 foot stone room with iron gates. And you're stripped of your weapons, and you're still in whatever clothes you were wearing before, probably still stained with blood and slashed from when you were attacked.
Yeah. I'm gonna need to get some new fancy duds.
Yeah. But you're there for, you're not exactly sure how long, but you guess close to an hour or two. Before you hear the crunching of boots against stone echoing from down the hall, and they become more solid as they approach, until walking a guard passes by and looks into your cell, and looks to somebody else and gives a nod, and the guard walks away, but then walking up to your cell, the doors of which you see your father, Lord Nusseldorf. And he has that same sort of disappointed look across his face, but I think he always had a disappointed look. And as the guard leaves, I think he relaxes just a little bit from his posture, and he says, "Chad, are you alright?"
Well, all things considering, I survived the trip here. Better than could be expected in some circumstances.
I suppose that's good. I would have preferred that they not have made that such a spectacle.
Yes, well, word will get out. So,
He kind of shakes his head and rubs his temples for a moment and says, "Son, what have you gotten yourself into?"
a whole lot of shit, but clearly I don't even know the half of it. How much time do you have for me to explain things?
Well, I have no more meetings with the Council Lord today, so my schedule is clear.
All right, well. Oh, I wish I had Jules here, our holy person with magic that would make this so much easier, but before we begin, let me ask you, swearing on the love that you once had for my mother, do you have any involvement with the one they know as the Bandit King?
He balks at that for a moment out of surprise. He shakes his head. He says, "Why would you think such a thing?"
Can I insight him?
Yeah.
Or does he need to give more of a
No,
response?
you can insight based on that.
That's a 19.
19. Nice. No, he looks genuinely surprised by the question. He's not expecting you to ask that.
Because I have been led to believe by a number of parties that the Bandit King is, in fact, one of the nobility in the area, either of Quilden or potentially Glambala. And me and my companions have been taking care of the local banditry, and at this point we have eliminated the leaders of the main gangs, and it is just the Bandit King himself next. But in doing so, there was an entity who strong-armed us into a deal in which he would provide the amulet that such a fuss was made over that would supposedly help us find the Bandit King and identify him. But clearly there was more to it than he told us about.
He thinks on that for a moment, and he says, "I don't know whether to believe you or not, but I want to."
With you, at least, I think I can be fully honest. There are certain details of this that I would wish the Lady Moosdorf not to hear, for fear that it would only further cement her terrible image of me.
I'll say she was not pleased by the events. I wouldn't say the same of myself, but
Yes, and I'm certain there's more disappointment to come, but as I said, we were strong-armed into this arrangement. I don't think another choice could have reasonably been made at the time, and I think I'm going to go into the account of, how we trying to figure out how much details to give, kind of the gist of, okay, so we got to Quilden, found out about the Bandit King and all the bandits, took it upon ourselves to start kind of hunting them down, all that, our initial encounter with the Oribus, then coming across it again and being like, okay, we clearly can't leave this thing to keep running about. So, and then, the terms as they were presented to us. And so basically telling him everything that has happened without holding back.
As you tell the story, and he sort of takes a step back from your cell, leaning against the far wall and thinking on it for a moment. You see his face grow more stern as this is happening, and as you finish, there's a long silence. He just shakes his head. He says, "Making pacts with fiends, son."
I know, but as I've explained, I don't think there was another option that would have gotten us out alive and able to continue to help people.
I don't know what in the Six would have possessed you to do such a thing, but I'd always feared something like this might come to pass, knowing of your lineage. He rubs his temples again. He says, Irene had always warned me that someday something like this would happen. To do something, to pact with something so evil, malevolent, that I don't understand how you do such a thing.
Well, at the time, it seemed like either that or die against, trying to fight this creature when he clearly outmatched us.
My grandfather fought in the... I'm trying to remember a name here. Give me 1 second. My grandfather fought in the war that led to the Sundering, when the armies of Mondakir threatened our way of life. And when the Demon Queen attempted to take her hold upon our world, and the creatures that he fought, and the evil that was wrought in that name, and the things that came to light afterwards, the things not uncommon or not too far from this, deals that the mages of the Imperium made, misguided. Can you not see that you are falling down the same path?
I think Chad is quiet for a bit, and yes, I know I have made some poor choices. I still believe I made the best ones of the ones available to me, and I certainly hope for the chance to redeem myself should I come out of this intact.
There's a pause, and he sighs, and he looks up at you, and again, that same look of wanting to protect, and that same look of conflict in his eyes, and he says, I will pray to the Six for you, but my son, I don't know if that's something that you get forgiveness for. And he looks at you for a long while, and then he shakes his head, and he turns up the hall. Leaving you alone as his boots recede into the darkness. Hilda and Finn.
Okay.
The two of you are heading to the look at the web or the amulet.
Yes.
First, okay.
I wanted to separate and go try and find a cleric that can cast Sign of Truth from whatever temple.
Okay.
I'm lawyering stuff. I've got to prove my boy innocent.
I guess you need an expert witness
Yeah.
to determine whether or not he's telling the truth. Okay, I like
You're
this.
good at reading body language, right? With your magic powers of tell the truth.
Okay. So you head to some temples in the city while Hilda goes to do her thing. Okay. Actually, I'm looking at the time here. Let's go and take our break, and then I'll come back and we'll resolve the 2 of those, and then I've got something else for Chad that we'll do. That hopefully will be less sad.
It's his stepmom going, "Oh my gosh, are you okay?"
I'm
She's
so
really
worried
bad.
about you, Chad.
Gasp.
Okay.
Insight nat 20. She loves you.
So we'll take a little bit of a break here. Get some drinks, catch our breath, figure out what we're gonna do next. So stick with us for a couple minutes, everyone, and we'll be back soon to finish out our session.
Yay.
Welcome back, Internet. Thanks for hanging with us on our break. Let's go ahead and jump back in. So the Hilda and Finn, our legal team, are trying to exonerate Chad, who's currently in prison, being scolded by his dad. Pretty much the worst case scenario I can think of.
It's more his dad saying, "I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed."
No.
So let's get into that. So Hilda and Finn, you guys head to. I think there are some guards outside that are posted at the inn, who are kind of keeping an eye on you guys and told to escort you wherever you need to go.
Is one my buddy?
Sure.
Yes. So let's go. We're going to continue this investigation. Just
right, you need to go to the talk to the major circle.
no temple. I'm just gonna walk past him, but then I realize I don't know where the temple is. I'm like, well, come on.
All right. Yeah, I'll take you there. And so Hilda, you're going to the mages, and then Finn, you're going to the temple.
I guess I'll see you later, Finn. What are you going to the temple for?
When you're done, if you can't get in to see Lord whoever we tried killing, I'm terrible with names unless I nickname people. So,
Council Lord Alabaster? Is that
yes.
what you're talking about?
I didn't
Alright,
realize
so
there
what
was an
about
L in there. Try getting to see him when you're done. If not, just wait outside wherever they won't let you in.
Okay. What
We're
are
gonna
you
free
going to
our
do?
boy Chad.
Okay. I mean, I like the sound of that. I'd rather not to be in there, but...
Or we're all gonna get arrested. Either way, we're gonna be with him. Haha, let's go.
I do not like the sound of that, but okay.
Worst case, you just go into your rock. Let's get Chad in the rock and then we leave.
We can't control it. It just sort of happens. That's the problem.
We'll just sit it down and be like, come on, Chad, get into the rock. We'll make this work. We'll get him out.
Okay, I guess I will see you later then.
Matthias is kind of like, who should I go with, or should I wait here with Chad's stuff, or
How attached are you guys to Matthias? Matthias, you want to do a favor for the team?
Sure.
Okay, that's all I needed to hear. And then...
What kind of favor?
If we needed to leave some collateral behind, sort of gesture towards Matthias.
I've already done that. I don't really.
If anybody's going to be collateral, it's going to be you, Mr. Finn.
Yeah.
I'm not the one which sold my soul, and
you're the newbie now, so you have to stay behind, if anything. Yeah, because that's why
he's got the point.
I'm just gonna look at him and be like, seriously.
That's the rules. It's in the charter.
It's not, because I wrote the charter, and I'll pull out one of my many copies and be like, as you can see here. And I'll hand him the copy and be like, study that, okay, friend.
Okay. So
tap him on the shoulder and just.
All right.
So Finn, you're taking Matthias with you.
Now I only have like 16 copies left. This is really annoying.
Okay, so let's do Hilda first.
Okay.
So Hilda, one of the guards takes you back to the beacon, where you are not instead of being led into the main like audience chamber, you're led to like a side passage, which tends to kind of like a secondary building, a structure attached to it, and the hallway sort of abruptly ends at a heavy oaken door that actually has like runes inscribed on the outside, and the guard knocks on it heavily 3 times, and there's a bit of a pause. You wait for a moment, and then the door opens, and Sebastian is currently standing there, and he looks out at the two of you with a sort of vacant expression at first, and shakes his head like he was thinking of something, was sort of interrupted mid-thought. And you can see behind him this larger chamber, and you can smell like incense and some other kind of heavy, kind of pungent smells coming from inside, kind of like an alchemist's laboratory. He says, "Yes, can I help?" Oh, you. With the vagrants.
Yes.
Yes. I remembered you said you'd be coming by. Yes. You can wait here, looking at the guard, and you can come in.
I did not know you were a practitioner.
Yes, there were many things that you and your friends did not bother to ask upon our first introduction, but
Well, pardon my rudeness then.
all is forgiven. Looks back and leads you into the room, and you can see it is like a hybrid alchemist laboratory with some more of like a magical or arcane research built in. There's like an enchanting Skyrim style, like there's an enchanting table on one side and a alchemy table on the other, and then lots of butterfly wings and jars of
Okay.
little animal parts. Yeah. But no, there are stores of arcane like ingredients and spell ingredients and components and things like that. And then on the floor, on this wooden floor, which is like one solid piece of oak, it looks like, burned into it is a large rune with crystals embedded in around the circular exterior of it. And he is at the center of the room. There is a stone pillar or pedestal, and sitting on top of that is the crystal, the amulet that you were given by the Orbis. And there are a couple of other mages in the room that are kind of studying it, and they inspect it, and they kind of send like a little like flash of energy into the amulet. It kind of lights up for a second, and then it dims again, and they take some notes down on some parchment that they are carrying. And Sebastian, or the council lord, or the steward, sorry, I need some music here, I just realized, looks at you and says, "We've begun our preliminary investigation into the amulet. It seems that what you said may check out. Seems to be a conduit of sorts. I can't quite understand its making. It doesn't seems extra planar in origin."
Yes, we did get sort of fiendish vibes off of it.
He looks at one of the mages who quickly writes that down. Says, "We hadn't had the same... we haven't been able to identify the source yet, but that would put us in the right direction, so I appreciate that." And you can see he is actually... There's a bit of excitement to him that you haven't seen before. He seems a little bit like more lively and like interested, and less of this like kind of...
Nerds!
Yeah, he seems to be a big old nerd.
Yes. My people!
He says, "Do you have any thoughts or anything else to add on it that might expedite this investigation?"
Well, it seemed like you were saying it's some sort of conduit, and it seemed to be activated by something. I don't know if being in the presence of someone, or if whoever it's connected to was able to sort of remotely activate it.
Yes. We aren't seeing any sort of divination essence to it. It looks like it's arcane nature or origin. It seems to be more in the realm of enchantment. But there's a bit of conjuration also that we've detected through our studies. It's difficult because it appears that the arcane, the amulet itself is warded from most of our identification attempts.
That would make sense. That's why I had trouble with it earlier.
But upon doing some more research with the books and expertise we have on hand, those were our first steps. My theory, upon looking at it, and I think it would support your assertion earlier that perhaps your friend Chad, that was carrying the amulet, was under the effect of a spell, is that it seems to have some... The enchantment itself seems to be incomplete, like there's a second half to it. Perhaps, my theory is that it operates much in the same way as a sending stone, but for spells themselves. Somebody could cast a spell remotely through it, undetected. The holder of this amulet, gesturing to the one on the pedestal, would be subject to any spells cast by the bearer of the other amulet. Now, this is just a theory because I can't test it without the other half. So that's the downside there.
That is a good theory, though. It seems it would explain what happened and does make this a very malicious sort of object.
He sort of smiles and nods at that, like, yes, it was a good theory. And he says, you're welcome to stay here. You have access to our materials, and can any additional inquiries you want to make into the object to elucidate some of the mysteries that still surround it. You're welcome to do so.
All right. I wonder if there's a way we could there's any sort of way we could reverse it and figure out if there's a way we could find the second half of the stone.
Perhaps like a tracking spell, something that we can. That's a good idea. We'll need to research. We have some books this way. I'll show you. And he takes you to the other side of the room. And there's a large, but actually it's probably a secondary room attached to it. And there's a small library of very old arcane tomes, research and spells and things like that. So you can investigate there. I'll have you make, if you want to, I'll have you make a Arcana check.
Arcana, okay.
Part of your study.
Let's roll this one.
And I'll give you advantage because
I've got friends.
You've got Sebastian and some other mages there helping you, and you have their resources.
Okay. That is... Ooh, a 29.
Wow. Okay. So, with the 29, you find a couple of books, and you and Sebastian are there for a while and pulling tomes out onto a table and looking them over. And you don't find any book itself that gives you the answer, kind of the spell or the procedure that you would need to do it. But you actually put together bits and pieces from a single author who has done research into a similar vein of like conjuration, like a remote conjuration spell, and you decide to that if you were to combine those principles with some of the divination research that you had found in the use of like scrying and some other spells of remote observation, that you might be able to sort of reverse the feed to this amulet and maybe get a glimpse at where the other one is being held, or where it might be.
And Hilda is just like loving this. She hasn't done stuff like this in a long time.
Yeah, and I think you have a good bonding moment with Sebastian, and he seems to warm up to you a lot. It's
Your
like
hands both reach for the same book at the same time.
he pulls back. He's like,
Stop
"Oh,
writing your
I'm
fan
sorry."
fiction back there.
What else is Chad
I see you
doing?
in the chat.
Instead of the loving glare, it's the hatred look of like, that's my book.
Yes, I like it.
But there's a lot of like side conversation between the two of you. It's like, I don't know why that one friend of yours was so rude. If you seem to be such a pleasant person yourselves. If the rest of your group was half as I'm trying to think of the right phrase for it, but they seem to be a bit crass.
He's new at working with him. He's an interesting fellow.
I'm referring to more than one of them, but I understand what you're saying.
Well, we're working with all of them. There's only so much I can do.
Well, it's nice to know that there's at least one of you of good standing amongst the vagrants. I'll remember that if for future contracts coming in, assuming all of this business is cleared up.
Excellent. That would be excellent.
So you find the spell and begin to pull the components that you would need to do this. We'll get back to that
Okay.
in a little bit. Finn. So you're looking for a temple. There's a few temples within the city, but there is one temple to the Six, where you can find acolytes of all 6 prime deities that are currently that worship and preach.
I will ask my new buddy. I don't know his name. Lucky number 1.
We'll go with Dirk.
Dirk. Okay, Dirk. What god does Lord Alabaster, I think I got it right there, believe in? Quick quiz. Come on.
I know this one. So he kind of he supports the worship of all of the 6, but I think I've seen him before at Lelavos.
Okay, correct. We're gonna go to that one. We're gonna find someone from that one.
All right.
So you need someone who can cast Stone of Truth, because we need the truth to come out, Dirk.
Okay. You head to the Temple of the 6, and the temple itself, like many that you've seen before, this is a common practice across Sarthia, is a temple dedicated to the Paramount Convergence, and it's typically a circular worship space, sort of sectioned off into 6 altars, I guess forming sort of a less circular, more of like a hexagon, I guess. Well, there'd be an entrance too, so
Septagon.
Anyway, so you enter the space, and you can see on one corner of the room there is a altar with a crescent moon emblazoned above it in stained glass, and you would know that this is a worship, or this signifies worship of Lelavoth. And there are a couple other acolytes, a few priests and priestesses that are wearing robes with the same kind of whitish, kind of cream color, and a silver moon on the blazing across the chest. So, you want to approach one of them?
Approach one of the ones from whichever god, goddess Dirk mentioned,
Yeah, Lalawa, yeah.
and request that I need someone who can cast Zone of Truth to assist in an investigation on their lord's life.
Okay, so you're approaching a younger man that is tending to a few of the acolytes, a few people worshiping there, and he turns to you, kind of with a start, and says, "Can I help you, sir?"
Yes, your lord needs your assistance
But,
if you can cast Zone of Truth. Should probably clarify that first. Can you cast Zone of Truth?
well, I've been working on my studies. It's getting there. I can, like,
Simple yes or no. I don't care about your other spells. Zone of Truth.
Like,
Yes, no.
like right now. No. I
Can
can't.
anyone here do that now?
And there's a bit of a throat clearing behind you, and you turn around and you see a stern-faced acolyte wearing the priestess wearing the same garb, an older Goliath woman. So she's very tall and but thin, and she has some like deep set wrinkles on her face, and a very that seem to signify a lifetime of frowning. And she looks down at you with an expression as frigid as the wind outside. And the young man in front of you goes, "Oop," and takes a step back, and she says, "Not so fast." And she looks down at him. She says, "You're shirking your duties now, young man. Get back to it." And he goes running off. And she looks down at you, Finn. And she says, "Can I help you, sir?"
Can you cast Zone of Truth? The answer to that is the answer to your question.
I don't like your attitude.
Well, we had an attempt on the Lord's life, and I'm here
Which
investigating.
lord?
Lord Alabaster.
I've heard nothing of an attempt on the Council Lord's life.
I was there. Dirk, was there an attempt on the Lord's life?
Dirk next to you looks at you and looks up at her and gives a nod. Says, "Yeah, he's telling the truth. It just hasn't. It was very recent. It hasn't really gotten out yet." You can see him just flop sweat forming across his forehead. She sort of clucks her tongue and says, "I do know the spell."
Awesome. I need your assistance, and I'll even donate to whatever deity you pray to.
She stoops down a little bit more, kind of leaning over you, and gives you a very very scrutinizing look. She says,
2 gold enough?
"I don't tolerate blasphemy in my temple, young man."
I didn't blaspheme.
"You should show proper respect to the Six."
Yeah, but I believe in the 7th. Interesting. Different gods over where I'm from. Sorry. So yeah, 5 gold then?
10 gold.
I'll do you 5, and I will have Dirk let people know that you assisted in saving the Lord.
Make a persuasion check.
I'm gonna do this via the roll so we can see. So it's advantage because persuasion is amazing. 31.
Jeez. She leans back or stands up straight, and you hear her back sort of crack in the process. She crosses her arms, tapping her index finger against her elbow.
Came to you for a reason, because I heard you're better than the other 5.
5 gold.
5 gold and publicity. Dirk's very good at publicity.
And you don't step foot in this temple again. Unless you're...
Unless there's another attempt on somebody's life and I need to know the truth person, you won't see me again, lady. Scout's honor. Or deity's honor. Oh, whatever honor you want me swearing.
I'll help you. Just
Yes.
let's get this over with before you foul up this whole temple with your heresy.
No worries, and you should always have someone with Zone of Truth, just a heads up, especially in a town like this.
I told you I know the spell, don't I?
Yeah, but you really don't want to spend your time walking around. Make that young dude do it next time. Have him always have that spell prepared, because at jobs like this with people like me, you can punish him for it. See? Gotta think ahead. And then I'll just start walking off.
You swear you hear her grinding her teeth from behind you, but you don't turn around. And
Good work, Dirk.
You hear Dirk saying, "So should I take her up to the council lord's chambers, or we should wait and bring her when you're ready?"
We're both going there now.
So she's supposed to come with us right now.
Yes.
Okay. Mom, you're supposed to... she says, "I heard him." And you begin to, the 3 of you, heading back up to the beacon, I guess.
And, of course, just because she hates me, I'm going to ask the question, do you know if a beholder poops? And then she... walk off.
Yeah, just more teeth grinding. Okay. So 2 new characters I need to keep track of.
And I'll see if anybody else on the street wants to join in. Like, I'll get to find another 5 more people. No.
All right. Okay. So while you're doing that and Ho's doing that, I want to go back to Chad. That's some creepy music back in because you're in a prison cell. All right. So Chad, you are darkness returns, or silence returns once again. You're comforted by only the sound of this like popping of the oil lantern hanging outside of your cell, and occasionally from down the hall you'll hear some footsteps, but none of them seem to approach your cell.
I assume at some point I was able to get a short rest.
Yes, yeah, you've had a short rest. You just get to sit there and like throwing a baseball up against the wall.
Yeah, I mean, I think we were actually talking about this on break. I think Chad at first, tries to be there and sit and like, okay, this is serious, but eventually there's too much nervous energy and he does get to like doing push-ups and minor exercises as he's just waiting for the next person to arrive.
Okay. So some time passes, probably another hour or so, as far as you can tell. I think the guards come by at some point and drop off some food for you, which is pretty much just it's a cup of water and a bowl of. Actually, they do know you're a lord, so I think they give you some nicer food. It's probably some like hard cheese and bread. Maybe a little bit of dried meat. Not the greatest food, but not just gruel. Yeah, they give you some nice charcuterie. But yeah, I think as they drop the food, the guard retreats into the silence once again, and you're sitting there with your food and you can gnaw on it or not, your choice.
Yeah, I mean, we'd probably eat some of it because, yeah, I don't think we had time for breakfast when Sebastian got us, and now it's who knows how long all told.
Yeah, probably kind of hungry. Um, well, as you're sitting there eating, there's a moment where you suddenly realize you're not alone. You didn't see somebody approaching. You didn't hear anyone. But you look up from the bread, trying to pick off some of the bits that have molded. And standing there in the cell with you is the Orabas demon, or devil.
I think you and I need to discuss the terms of the contract in further depth. There was some fine print you neglected to mention.
One of the eyebrows raises on the Orabas and speaks out in this that telepathic communication to you once again. Says, "Please ask then."
You said the amulet would light up in the presence of the Bandit King. It didn't do so until a certain point, at which point I lost all control of myself, which was not part of the agreement.
Kind of cocks his head a little bit, and you see a slight smile form on his horse face, which is as disconcerting as I think it's been this entire time. It says, "I may have left out certain details of the nature, but it did illuminate itself in the presence of the Bandit King, as I told you it would."
Trying to go back and look at my notes on the contract. It did so, yes, but did fuck all to tell us who it actually was, which you said you would offer us the means of locating the Bandit King, which we're still none the wiser as to who it really is.
I have offered you the means. It is up to you and yours to make use of them. You cannot hold me accountable for the failings of you and yours.
Something tells me I can, I just don't know how yet.
Perhaps. But worse things are on the way, and, well, time is of the essence.
I take it you're here to try and offer me a new deal, something to get me out of this bind?
I could. If that is what you wish.
Tell me what you came here for.
What do you know of your bloodkin? You are of the depths. That is why I drew an interest to you.
Heard stories growing up. Some, well, I actually don't know if you know, since you're not from this plane, but tieflings aren't necessarily the most kindly looked upon. I'm sure most of it is exaggerated rumors and finding a social scapegoat, but did hear some stories that, yes, there is some fiendish blood somewhere way back, which seems to be enough to justify the beliefs some people hold against me.
As you're speaking, the Horus demon sort of paces across the cell and kind of runs a hand along the iron gates of the prison, and turns back to you as you finish and says, "If you're treated this way by those that you call allies, why fight against us then?"
Never said anything about my allies, and besides, there's still a difference between people being pig-headed bigots and capital E evil.
What you call evil, I call a difference in perspective.
Yeah, I mean, I did not pay that much attention in my classes, but I'm pretty sure with the creation of the universe, there are actual capital G good and capital E evil. And I'm pretty sure you fall squarely in the camp of capital E evil.
I would call that propaganda by a one-sided argument. Me and my kind have been wrongly imprisoned for millennia. We only seek our own little piece of something real. To end our confinement, our imprisonment.
And how is laying claim to mortal souls going to help accomplish that?
Tools are needed for every battle. But there is an importance to you, Nebuchadnezzar, Museldorf, or Chad, or whatever it is you wish to call yourself. You are a descendant of someone special. There is a power in your blood, a power that others fear. A power that, if your closest kin knew of, they would execute you on the spot. So I ask you once again, why not join us?
Let me ask you something. Do you fear this blood? Or this power? The power of my blood?
I do not. For me, I see salvation in it.
When they brought me my food, were there any kind of utensils?
I don't think so. I think you have the wooden tray, plate that it was on. I don't think they gave you any utensils to go with them.
Yeah. Well, if you see me as potential salvation, then isn't it in your best interest to help me gratis?
What is it that you ask of me then?
Relinquish your claim on my soul, make it more clear who the Bandit King is, as near as you are able under the terms of your contract with them. And I will see if I can't give you a head start when me and my companions have the power to come hunt you down for harming us in the first place.
Steps back. I had the impression of unintelligence when I first met you. Perhaps I misjudged you.
Most people do.
Very well. I will give you the means to escape. I will free you from this place. As to the identity of the Bandit King, I cannot provide you that, but I believe one of your companions is very close to that answer. I can ensure that they find what they are seeking. So, as clearly as I can state this, within the day, you will learn the identity of the Bandit King. You will be freed from this place. And claim to your soul will once again return to you.
Even without having to finalize the killing of the Bandit King?
Yes. Alive or dead. Come midnight tonight, your soul will be yours once again.
And what is it that you seek in exchange for this, or have you come to your senses and realized that if I am your potential salvation, that you really should just be helping me out of the kindness of your heart, if you even have one? I've never paid much attention. In fact, I don't think I got any fiendish anatomy classes.
I know that you are being sarcastic right now in your response, and I know that you have no faith, as I do, in your abilities. But I hope that with my altruistic action that you might see reason in my argument and might come to know what your destiny holds.
So to restate things, by midnight tonight, my soul will be mine. We will know the identity of the Bandit King. You offer me the means of escaping here, and I am under no further obligation or debt to you, nor are any of my companions.
Gives a nod and waves a hand through the air. Once again, a scroll sort of unfurls in that vaguely skin-like parchment, and you see burned across it in terms the contract you have stated, and he unfurls it, holds it out to you. He says, "The terms of it, as stated by yourself."
About what time is it currently? I'm thinking how much time he has to fuck me over before midnight.
It is probably mid-afternoon right now. So, maybe like 8 or 9 hours.
Further point of clarification, what is or are the means by which you would facilitate my escape, should I choose to escape from here?
I shall send somebody to release you.
Lots of sirens outside waiting for them to go past.
In fact, they are already on their way.
And no one will come to any harm in my release. It will all be above board as far as anyone is concerned.
Not unless you wish it to be otherwise.
I do not wish it to be otherwise. I wish no one to come to any harm or suffer any negative consequences. Simply perhaps a slight adjustment for someone to think that I'm not an escape risk. I will stay and cooperate with the investigation fully.
He nods and he says, "Your actions upon leaving are your own. This is the means of your confinement here. I will send somebody to release you. None will be harmed unless by your hand."
Again, just making it super clear, whatever you're doing to guarantee that my companions and I learn the identity of the Bandit King, none of, not myself nor my companions, will be harmed or under any further debt or obligation to you.
He kind of chuckles again. He says, "You are distrusting of me, but
Yeah,
I
you've
understand it."
fucked me over once already.
That big horse smile once again. He says, "Yes, I will not cause harm to any amongst you, and I will not, by my actions or the actions of any who do as I command, I will not harm you nor your friends,
Nor through malicious inaction on your part.
neither through that."
I think I've more or less covered the 3 laws of robotics. All right. I agree to these terms.
He nods. The writing is burned across the surface of the parchment. It is extended to you to sign.
Which I do.
You sign it with the sharp bit of metal that he provides you, sort of scratching it into the parchment. As you do, it sort of bleeds down. You finish. Nebuchadnezzar Busadorf, I assume.
Yep.
And the scroll winds itself back up and sort of flashes away. You feel that same kind of like tingling once again. And he says, "It is done then. I will leave you to your machinations." And he kind of stoops low and backs towards the corner, towards the darkness of the other side of the room where the little bit of lantern light doesn't filter in. And as he does, the last thing you see are kind of the glowing eyes, the reflective red eyes of the horse, and then those disappear too. And he, as far as you can tell, he's no longer in the room with you.
Well, I probably screwed something up there, but I think I did the best I could. I know Hilda and Jules are gonna be very angry with me again, but
There is, as you're waiting in that moment and thinking through everything, Chad, trying to plot out all the angles, you hear very quick, light footsteps coming from down the hall. And a hooded figure comes walking up to the bars, and you hear the jingling of keys. One is inserted into the lock, which clicks, and then with a heavy squeaking or shrieking noise, the door of the cell is pulled open. And you hear a light feminine voice from under the hood say, "This way, come on, quickly."
I recognize the voice.
You do. And as you look closely, the hood is kind of pulled back and she looks up and you catch in the light. You see your mother. Her sort of red tiefling skin caught in the flickering lantern light, her horns sort of holding the hood up behind her, mostly obscured by the cowl. And she gestures for you to follow her. She says, "Quick, before anyone sees."
I think Chad is just kind of stunned for a bit because I think the last he knew of his mother, he didn't know I don't think he knew that she was in Quilden. He had heard that she'd been sent somewhere else. Oh gosh. If it had been anyone else, he would have just sat in the cell and waited. But I think, yeah, I think he goes with his mom.
All right. The two of you quickly make your way down the hall. Let's get back to Hilda. Hilda, you are there with Sebastian and the other mages around the circle and trying to figure out this spell. And Sebastian is looking over everything and kind of getting the pieces in order and says, all right, this should work.
All right. I mean, we've run through it. I mean, theoretically, yes, it should work.
In theory, of course, I'm sure you know how theories often turn out in these situations, but we've taken necessary precautions. We're warded. I'll stay outside the circle. Hopefully, this will work. All right. Please, you can have the honors.
All right then. I guess she steps up to try to reverse engineer the spell.
All right. So you've set up the you've learned that the sigil, this rune on the ground, only the exterior part is permanent. The interior you've actually seen is drawn all in chalk, and you kind of like a chalkboard that they can be erased, and then the new glyphs can be transcribed in for whatever the purposes of the circle is being used for. Only the exterior is used as sort of like a warding for any sort of magical mishaps, providing sort of a barrier. The circle lights up as the mages begin to channel their power into it to provide the warding field. And you begin to focus and read off the tome that you have and the incantation that you have sort of spliced together for this purpose. And you begin to read it. As you do, Sebastian lights some of the incense in the circle, and you see the bits that you have drawn begin to light up. Everything begins to glow this bluish color, and the amulet in the center begins to sort of rise and levitate off of the pedestal that it's resting on, and then it begins to glow slightly in that same red tone, matching the color of the crystal. Then there is sort of a sputtering, and everything kind of stops, and everything just sort of goes dead except for the exterior warding crystal or rune.
Mm-hmm.
And Sebastian sort of looks at you and looks at it and says, damn it.
Really close that time.
It was. I think there's just a few components missing. The one thing that I need, I feel like the only piece that I wasn't certain of our current arrangement is the source material. We need something as close as we can to the origin of this construct, of this device. And unfortunately, I'm fresh out of materials from the depths themselves. So, by the 6th, I wish. I don't know what else I can do while we're waiting in the meantime.
Are there any other mages in town perhaps that might have the materials we would need for something like this? This is sort of a unique ask, but
there are some tradesmen in the city who deal with these sorts of things, trading in bits that are found and scavenged and sold by some of the guilds, so perhaps we can inquire there. It's growing a little late, so I don't know how much time we have, but we can certainly look into it. Well, come, let's see what we can find. And he goes goes to grab a coat from the rack and begins heading towards the door,
Mhm.
which he opens, and then sitting there, right outside the door, is a small box. And he looks at it. Did you leave this here?
No, I have not seen that before. Maybe maybe the guard?
He looks down the hall, and you can see the guard is like about 20 feet down the hall, sitting in a chair and like half like asleep. You hear like light snoring coming from down there, and he goes. And the guard stirs really quick, and he looks up and says, "Oh yes, yes, my lord." Sebastian says, "Where did this come from?" "I don't know, my lord. It wasn't there a few minutes ago." Sebastian shakes his head and says, "Not that you would know. You've been asleep this whole bloody time." He reaches down and he picks up the box and he says, "It doesn't look magical. It could be trapped." He just sort of flips it open.
Just goes for it. Yep.
And as he does, he
I
goes,
like this guy.
he goes, "Ugh," and he almost drops it. And also he says, "That wasn't, here."
What is it?
And he shows it to you and kind of opens it halfway up, and you see inside is a small, purple, looks like a heart.
Well, that seems very coincidental.
It does. Why would there be you? And he points to one of the mages in the room. Says, "Please come take this." And they do, and kind of take it across from the alchemical sets, and says, "Oh." Sebastian goes and starts leaning over his shoulder and says, "What do you make of it? Your expertise in biology is a little better than mine." And the woman looks it over and kind of pokes at it with a small metallic implement on the station. She says, "It's definitely a heart. As far as its origins, it's not human. It's not bestial in nature." And she looks at it, and then she kind of like smells. She says, "It smells sulfuric. I would say it's best guess. It's the heart of a fiend of some sort." Sebastian looks towards you, Hilda. "Did you tell anyone what we were doing?"
No, I've been here all day with you. I mean, I told my friend we were going to do some research here, but would not expect a fiendish heart to show up right when we needed it.
The cautious part of me is saying we should not use this thing as part of our ritual. It's clearly a trap. But the academic in me...
Yes, I mean, we're so close, and maybe it's just maybe the gods are just smiling upon us.
Perhaps. We're properly warded in here. It's not like anything could happen, as long as it's within the circle.
Yes, I think it should be fine. I mean, like you said, I am also very anxious to figure.
We are under a bit of a time crunch. Your companion is currently in a prison cell, so
I have to go visit him. Oh no, we've been here all day. Ugh. Yes, we should figure this out.
It's for the greater good. We should do. Yes. Meredith, do you? She says, I guess so. She takes it, and they begin to set up the circle again. And after a few few moments, you find yourself waiting once again to do the spell, and the runes light up on the outside, and Sebastian says, suppose you only live once.
That's true. Listening.
All right. You begin to cast the spell, and once again the runes light up, and the Sebastian burns the incense, and the amulet begins to levitate off, and it glows as well. And as you reach the same point where it sputtered out last time, instead it begins to intensify, and Hilda, you feel its power surge through you, and the spell completes, and the everything sort of dies down a little bit, but you still feel this intense draw, this pull, and you find yourself stepping across the ruins, and Sebastian goes, are you sure? And you just like full, just sort of zen-like step towards it, and you pick up the amulet, and you feel the amulet drawing you, pulling you, like it's leading you somewhere.
Well, I feel like this is leading me. It's not the exact answer we were looking for, but hopefully whoever has the other path for this is in the city. Within walking distance even.
Sebastian says, well, I suppose we should follow it then. I'll grab some of the guards, and we can follow this, and maybe it'll lead us to the true culprit, and it'll exonerate your friend and prove the theories that we've been working on. Please make sure to write that down. He looks to one of the other mages, who's like furiously taking notes on the spell and everything. Says, well, lead on.
All right. I would also like to pop out Panger.
Okay.
To sort of like just watch everything.
Okay.
In case something happens.
All right. And you and Sebastian and Peter, as well as a couple of the guards escorting you, begin leaving the building and heading out into the city. Finn, you've got your zone of truth and your guard. And
I've got my friends.
Got your friends, and you're just walking your way up towards the beacon. And you can see Hilda and Sebastian coming out of the building as you are heading up towards it.
I'll wave and continue talking to Dirk and be like, look, Dirk, you need to be a little bit more confident and believe in yourself more. You know, I'm just trying to help. Like, do you want to be captain up the guard someday? 'Cause I believe you can. You just got to believe in yourself.
I don't know. It's
You've been very vital in this investigation.
It's very political. It's hard to get there. I'm not a noble, and my dad always told me I'd never really amount.
Do you want to be a noble?
No, not really.
No? Okay, cool. And he starts putting his parchment away. It's like...
Hilda, are you just letting Finn go by, or are you gonna stop him?
When we get close, we'll be like, so we've cast the spell that
Congratulations.
Yes, so this amulet is sort of drawing me to whoever was connected to it. It's a lot more complicated that, but I simplified it.
Cat was connected to it. I know some magic.
All right, that's good to know. Did you know a little bit?
Yeah, so...
Well, not everybody knows. It's a difficult thing. Anyways, we're following this. I don't...
So that could lead
Who's
you
this
to...
woman?
She's a lovely lady. Excellent people skills. She's my polygraph.
The older Goliath woman who has now is like her hood pulled up and is kind of bundled up from the cold, looks over towards you, Hilda, and looks down at Finn and says, are we going to do anything yet, or are we just going to stand out here in the cold all day?
Do
I'm going
you
to charge you another
see
5 gold if we're not done with
the
this in
Lord
half an hour.
around here? Do you see the Lord around here?
No, and that is why.
Well, that is the answer to you're not doing anything just yet because it's not here. See what I'm dealing with? But yeah, if that's going to lead you to a bad person, you sure you really want to be going with alone? Look at Sebastian, the guy's like,
Well,
remember,
just
hey
seeing where
Sebastian.
it leads.
Okay, just don't get in trouble.
I'll try not
Cause-
to. I think you're going.
I'm gonna say Chad. I'm gonna get
Ah.
Chad free. Got my
Okay.
zone of truth teller. Don't worry, Matthias said he'd do anything to help. So
Sebastian comes and says, "So you're planning? If I understand this correctly, you're going to use the
Zone of truth
on
inform what
Chad.
happened on Chad
Okay.
and
You
myself
know
if
that-
required.
You know that Chad is not here, right?
I mean, Chad's not here. He's locked up in the prison.
Which is at the bottom of the city.
Yeah, so I go up there and be like, "Oi, Lordship, I need you to bring Chad up. Then we can let this clear.
And
I'm
the
his
Lord
lawyer.
will ask the steward to retrieve the prisoner.
Yeah, and in that time, I'll just have a little chin wag with him, okay? Don't worry, Seb."
I'm the steward. I can just go get him.
See, look at this. We get Chad and we can all follow the amulet.
You hire the most interesting people to be part of your
I didn't get hired, thank you very much. And I pull out one of my 16 copies of the charter and be like, "Look, I was one of the founding members here."
So the like rolls her eyes at this.
Yeah, because Finn doesn't know Sebastian was there when we all signed the original charter.
Yeah, he just gives you
It says right here,
a
founding member.
trustful
Boom.
look.
Like, how about you just come on, Seb?
All
So
right.
your spell, is it a limited time and you got to go now, or can you like resist it and can get Chad?
There's no way of knowing how long it's going to last for.
Can you cast it again?
Something like this is a little more complicated, so it's not as simple as most spells.
Can
The steward looks and says, "Sister Edith, I believe," and the Goliath one says, "Yes."
I
Why don't you wait inside where it's warm? These two capable individuals, we will conduct our business, retrieve the prisoner, and meet you to have this whole ordeal taken care of. I'll make sure you're suitably compensated, and that the Council Lord provides a sizable donation to the restoration of the temple. Does that sound suitable for all parties? Giving you like a very focused look, then. And in the meantime, while we are hunting down the culprit here, you can tell me a bit about that fascinating device I saw you use a few hours ago in the Council Lord's chambers.
fascinating device. You talking about my persuasive skills? Because I'm very persuasive. Or this rapier. I'm not really understanding what you're on about, Seb.
We'll talk more on it later.
And for like petty cash for expenses in regards to the investigation on the Lord's life, do I hand them to you, or it's like there's 5 gold donated to my polygraph? Sister Edith, I believe you called her.
He gives you a long look, turns back to Sister Edith and says, "I believe you'll find some warmth inside." And she says, "I bloody better will." And she heads up the steps.
No, with that personality, she
mutter-
won't.
Muttering along the way, just like millennials, just everything. Just immediate gratification, no thinking of anything beyond their own needs. She heads up, disappears into the beacon. And Hilda, you're being drawn. The amulet continues to pulse in your hands. And says, let us continue.
Yes, please. So, like give Finn like a look and be like, "Come on."
Would you say follow her or follow you, Dirk? Who are
No,
we
you're-
following?
Come in with us.
I'm not sure, sir.
Confidence, Dirk. Confidence, and call me
I'm
Finn.
definitely not sure, sir.
Call me Finn, not sir. Okay, there we go. We get in there.
There we go.
All right, and the three of you begin to follow the amulet. Let's get back to Chad. Chad, you're being led through the darkened halls by your mother, and eventually emerging from like a sort of a back stairwell that leads into the prison, and there's like a door that's kind of barred from the inside, kind of like a cellar door. And she looks up at it. She says, "Could you get? It's a bit heavy for me to lift."
I suppose, but what are you doing here? How'd you get here?
It's a long story. Trust me, I would have been here sooner if I'd known everything that was happening ever since I was sent away by that bloody woman.
Do you know that she's in town along with Father?
I know. That's part of the reason why I'm here. There's a lot that's happened that I wanted to keep you out of, and it seems that it found you anyway.
Once we have a minute, I think you need to tell me all about.
I'll explain along the way. There's something important that we have to do now before it's too late.
All right. And so I will, try and open the door.
Okay. It's just a matter of like removing the crossbar and pushing the doors open. You get like a blast of cold as you head outside, and you close the doors behind you, and you're in an alleyway between two large stone buildings, and she kind of pulls the hood a bit closer, and she rummages around behind some boxes that are piled up in this alley, and pulls out a bag, and she pulls a cloak out from it and hands it to you and says, "Here, take this."
I put it on because I'm still wearing bloody clothes.
Yeah. You get less looks that way, and I should probably put up the hood too, just in case. There aren't many tieflings in the city, and it would be easy to spot you. And she looks up, and she looks at the sky, and you can see the sun is setting in the distance. She says, "There really isn't much time." And she begins to head down the alleyway and says, Come on.
Continue following after, hood up.
And eventually she leads you down a couple of cross streets and to a building that looks like it is probably abandoned or condemned or something. There's boards across the front. But she heads to the door, which looks like it's boarded, and then pulls it, and it just kind of swings open. And she heads inside and closes it behind you, giving you a little bit of buffering from the cold. And you can see it looks like somebody has been staying in here for a little bit. There's like a cot on the other side of the room, and some little bit of like food rations and a stool, and everything kind of very close together, and the remnants of like a little fire in the stove that was left behind. And she says, "Home sweet home for the moment. I don't have time to explain everything to you or to tell you everything that happened, but it's so good to see you, my son." And she reaches over, she walks up and she gives you a big hug.
I hug her back, and we will find time. We will make time. But what is happening right now that there is no time for?
You and your companions, you've been Bandit King, correct?
Yes?
I have reason to think that... your father has gotten himself wrapped up in all of this too. It's that bloody woman. I think she's behind all of this, but I'm not sure.
I asked him when he came to see me. He swore he wasn't involved, but no,
He might not even know he's involved at this point. She's had her claws in him for years now. And your father and I met. I don't know if you know everything, if he ever talked about it. I know I never told you. There are certain circumstances that came into it that were, well, many people disagreed with, especially my heritage. My father came from a continent to the south of here, Almdak here. I'm sure you covered it in your studies, and
Chad just kind of stone faces like, do I remember?
it's the homeland of our people. We aren't thought well of in this region of the world, as I'm sure you've learned. But there's something special about us, about you specifically, Chad. We come from a special bloodline. A direct bloodline connecting back to a very powerful being. Though we are fiendish by our blood, it is only through the corruption of the depths. I guess I don't know the nature of it exactly. The story is told by my father to me. But the long and the short of it is, we come from a being called Sarthia. One of few bloodlines connected to them. And this Sarthia was once an angel, a deva, a very powerful one, who was integral in the formation and the sealing of the depths, the creation of this prison to seal away the corruption, the chaos that was created during the founding of our world. Zarya was a casualty of that process. They sacrificed themselves to seal this away, locking it from the inside. And they were corrupted in the process and became one of the first of the archdevils. But Zarya's a good being, one of righteousness. Though their intent has been corrupted along the way. Anyway, I tell you this, and it's too much for right now. But this Bandit King, they are meddling with things that are dangerous, that are connected to the depths. They're trying to control and summon powerful beings into our world to create an army, to conquer Ishfornen, to pick up where the Demon Queen left off, but not under the banner of the Sepulchre of Gloom, but the one of eternal fire. And they will scorch and raze the lands in their wake.
At one point we encountered what seemed like potentially a gateway, something that was reacting to my presence.
Yes,
It was about the blood of the fallen.
the obelisks. Yes, the fallen. The fallen are those that were corrupted, that succumbed to the ill, the malevolence of the depths, the odd and the ashen, and the other kings of the three sepulchres. Those that trace their lineage back to them, these obelisks, they are gate stones meant to open up a rift between our world and that of the depths. This bandit king has been gathering them and placing them across the countryside in some of the major cities. By my count, they have found 3 of them.
Well, we buried one of them, so that should at least thwart him in some minor capacity.
Good. If you have been able to keep one out of the hands of the bandit king, then it makes things easier. But there are still 2 others, at least. One, I believe, is gone in Glanbala. The other is here. And I believe that the Bandit King seeks to open that rift tonight.
I knew things would get messy before midnight. Just wasn't expecting this.
Midnight?
Long story. Long story. But I want to ask how you know all this. But what can we do to stop this?
The reason for my knowing is that it is our bloodlines calling, a pact that we have made, one that has been passed down from parent to child for thousands of years. My father told me this when I was young, and I meant to tell you when you were old enough, but try to remember your stepmother's name. Give me one second. Irene. She kept me from you. It's difficult to explain, but we have to do something. We have to stop this tonight. And we can. Because while the blood of the fallen will open the way, our blood will close it. Or at least control it. We can use our blood to claim the stone and use it for our own purposes. Meaning, you can choose to seal it away, to never open it, to keep the armies of Arden from crossing over into this world.
I want to insight check my mom.
Sure. This would be a perfect time to insight check.
I'm going to use my legend point to re-roll that.
Sure.
So that was a 9. That's a 17.
17. Okay. There is a look of panic on her face. Like it's similar to your dad. I keep saying it's a conflicted look. Like she's very happy to see you, and you can see this happiness, but you see this reservation, like holding something in. Like there's a job to do, a calling, something that we have to do, and I think those two sides, the maternal side of wanting to coddle you and to speak with her son, is very much conflicting with the sense of duty that she has, that there's a job here that needs to be done.
And as far as I can tell, she's not being duplicitous about the purpose, or that. I mean,
no, it seems like what she's telling you about is true. I mean, you're not getting any sense that what she's told you is false at this point.
Yep. All right. Do you know where the obelisk here is?
I think so. There's a space beneath the city, a chamber that was being used by one of the bandit organizations. I believe the Lone Eye. They had smuggling routes for spies coming in and out of the city, and I was able to... I've been here for a while, and by what I've been able to see, it looks like they've stopped coming and going. And I think that's where they put it.
All right. Well, I suppose let's get to it there. Yeah.
Okay. It's on the other side of the city, so we need to move quickly.
The one upside to not having my armor is at least I won't make such a racket.
And she kind of looks at you, and she places a hand on each one of your, like the sides of your head. She says, "It is good to see you, my son.
It's good to see you.
I wish
Mom.
this was better circumstances, but once this is done, we can catch up."
Yeah.
So, the two of you bundle up once again. She extinguishes the fire, and you head out into the cold. Winding your way between the city streets, you are frantically making your way to the other side of the city. Hilda and Finn. There's another Chad. You are also being drawn in a similar fashion by Hilda, holding the amulet, heading down, following the city steps, and you are led to a building, one that you are familiar with, Hilda. You're led to the Hedgehog's Hold.
Oh,
The sort of
we did scope this out before.
the tavern that you've been to previously. I think Chad and Jules had been there previously.
You guys went actually in. I just saw it from the outside.
Yeah.
So Hilda, you've seen it.
Gotta go back and look through my notes. Gotta remember which session this was.
A previous one.
And you're being drawn into the building.
Hey Finn,
Yeah?
just so you know, I've heard that this place could be kind of dangerous, so just be wary.
Dirk, probably best if you stay out here and keep an eye on everything.
Dirk is like, yeah, I'm gonna guard this door with my life.
Also guard Sebastian, because Sebastian, I think you should also stay out here as well, until we make sure it's safe.
I'm not staying out here.
Okay.
It's capable.
Also, quick question, Sebastian. Has anyone actually seen this Bandit King before?
If we had, we would know who they were.
So that's the negative, so you don't even know if it's a king or a queen.
No.
Or just a bandit leader.
I don't know. They could be an octopus for all I know.
Well, assumptions is what causes bad investigation. Remember that, Dirk. And
Right on it, sir.
okay, are we just gonna? Is it like the saloon doors, or is it a normal door?
It's like the saloon doors.
Oh, I'm
course
going.
All right.
I want it to be silence when we walk in.
It's like as the three of you.
Piano player stops. Everyone looks.
Yeah. No, piano player keeps playing. And the bartender kind of looks up for a moment and heads back and kind of tending to the other patrons. There's that same doorway on the left side where you see the two kind of bigger looking people, one or both kind of human, that are posted to kind of on stools on either side of the door. Look like they're guarding it, but trying not to looking like they're guarding it.
Yeah.
And the amulet in your hand kind of pulls towards that opening.
Sort of like it's through there, but
Okay, let's go. Do they look suspicious?
Yeah, they look suspicious. They look like thugs that are posted to guard this entrance.
Okay,
any ideas?
are we willing to throw down?
Sebastian says,
We're not going to start anything. I'm saying, but in defense,
yes, we
non-lethal, correct, Savvy boy?
yes, non-lethal.
Okay,
I
but
prefer to use tact if we can.
yeah.
Right.
We'll go get 2 drinks. We'll take them up to them, hit them over the head with it. If they don't want it,
Or
talk our way through.
I am
Gotcha.
an official of the city.
And looking at them and looking at you, I don't think they care.
Yeah, these are the types that would definitely.
Well,
I
I trust your
tell you what, Seb.
expertise.
Okay, you stay down here with the guards. We'll talk without the official, and if they don't agree, we'll send you up, okay?
I'll be standing by the door.
Yes. The door down here, correct?
Yes, the door.
Okay.
5 feet that direction.
Okay.
And he walks towards
Fire
the door
pillar.
and stands there watching you.
Let's quickly get 2 drinks and we'll head up.
All
Or
right.
should we just head up? I don't know.
I've not sort of done this thing before, so.
They don't look like they drink on the job, do they?
No, they look kind of focused.
Okay, well, no drink. Let's just head up.
All right. I'm just
And we're
gonna
not
have.
bullshit our way through here.
All right. Well.
How good are you at lying?
Pretty good.
'Cause lying's probably my worst talkative skill. Being honest, we're good, but if I'm lying,
I mean, we're just trying to persuade them to get us through the door. Don't know what's beyond there, so if you could convince them that we are meant to go
Okay.
down there.
don't worry. I got this, and I think I can do this in a way where I'm not being deceptive.
All right.
I'm gonna walk up and be like, "Hey guys, how's it going?" And I'll try and handshake. Is anyone willing to return my handshake?
Like, can't stick out your hand out there at them.
Yeah, hands that. Anyone?
What do you want?
Well, I was walking in as you. I don't know if you saw, but the steward was with us with the guards. Like they followed in behind us, and I overheard them speaking. They want to go through that door, and they're willing to arrest you and pull in the authority thing. I think maybe if you got rid of them now. Before they cause an issue. Look at him looking up at us.
Why are you telling me this?
Because I don't like the dude. Stick it to the man,
I really don't see any way this isn't a deception check.
I'm being honest. He wanted to come up and get through.
All right, yeah, I guess that's true. Here's what I'll do. I'm gonna let it be persuasion, but I'm not gonna give you advantage. I would say it's disadvantage, so it'll cancel out.
Okay,
Just
okay,
make a
that's still
persuasion
good.
check.
Okay. While he's talking, I'm going to prepare to cast Hold Person in case something goes poorly. Oh, you rolled a 20. Well, dirty 20.
I rolled a 7, but that's a 20.
Well, for the sake of moving the plot forward, he goes, I always heard the steward was kind of a dick. He looks over to the other one.
It's got guards, so it'll probably take 2 of yours.
Looks over at the other one, who gives him a nod. He kind of stands up, cracks his knuckles, starts walking over towards the door. The other one is still there and does not move. Hilda, do you want to do anything?
Yeah, is that when I am now friends with Seven? I don't want him to get hurt. When the other one gets like closer, I would like to cast Hold Person on both of them.
Oh, okay.
So I can do that if I cast it at a higher level.
All right.
As long as they're within 30 feet of each other. Let me
Okay.
click the thing.
Yeah, they're within 30 feet.
I'm giving a thumbs up to Seb, like, it's working.
What's the saving throw?
It is
Wisdom.
Wisdom. Okay. And your DC is
15.
all right. So here's what happens. The one that is walking to the door towards Sebastian doesn't seem to be affected. Just kind of like keeps walking. The other one that's standing right in front of you kind of locks into place. And you see the one by the door kind of walks up to Sebastian and is like, hey, you need to get out of here. And he kind of like starts like mushing into the door, leaving the door effectively unattended.
Okay. I'm gonna tap Frozen Dude on the cheek and be like, nice doing business with you. And let's walk in.
All right.
He'll be fine. You said he can handle himself. He's got 2 guards and Dirks outside if anything gets too dangerous. I have to protect my friend.
Right. Okay. Well, this is not gonna last very long. This other one is gonna.
Yeah, that's something. But we did ask Sebastian to stay outside, so it's his own fault.
Okay, let's go. I want to see where this leads.
Yeah, okay.
You head through and you see Sebastian's look like over the shoulder of the thug and just kind of like shakes his head a bit and starts talking to the man and like gives a big boast. It's like, do you not know my position? As he's being pushed out of the place, trying to make a big show of it, drawing attention towards him. The two of you, as the guard that's frozen, is like move past him. There's a slight hallway and then a set of stairs going up. You start to head towards the stairs, but it pulls you the other way, towards the wall on the far side of the stairs.
Huh. Not the stairs, but over here. Gonna kind of like look at the wall and see if there's.
Yeah, making
Do the little tapping on the wall to see if there's a sound difference.
Investigation. Let's see.
I'm leaving that up to you because I'm not good.
Oh, okay. That is a 14.
14? Okay, I'll say with the guidance. I mean, the stone is like literally pulling you towards the wall. So
Yeah.
you kind of push on it a bit. It does feel hollow. And you don't find a latch or anything, but as you push on it, it kind of slides in a bit and then over and reveals a passageway beyond. A stairwell carved into stone leading down.
Is it dark?
It is pretty dark, yes.
Okay, well, my monocle's coming on and I'll close the door. But wait, do you have dark vision, Hilda?
No, I cannot see in the dark, but I can make some light if needed. Also, I think that guard is about to be released, so
we'll close the wall.
yes, and I'm going to leave Pinger here. Hey, buddy, try to distract the guard if you can.
Is he a cat?
Pinger is a cat, yeah.
Is there any way to wedge it so the door won't open, like break it?
You could try, make a strength check.
Can I like use my thieves tools and try and?
There isn't really a mechanism to it.
Okay, strength check it is. Come on, noodle arms. I'm gotta put it up on the roll 20 because it's amazing. Nat 20. Yes.
Nat 20 for -2, 18. All right.
Oh
Well,
my
I guess that was the
gosh.
time to roll it. You with the amazing feat of strength, you just shove forward, and you hear kind of this like popping noise as the door kind of pops out of the hinge a little bit, and it doesn't seem like it wants to move again.
I would have acted really calm too. I wouldn't have cheered like that. It's just been like, yeah, everyday stuff.
And you hear on the other side and you hear another dog go, ooh, and then thump, 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 and you hear, and then like a cat like going up the stairs, and then thump, 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 out of sight as the guard also follows the cat up the stairs.
What a good boy.
And the two of you are left in this dark passageway that is slanting downwards into darkness somewhere beyond.
I don't have light. Like I can see if I activate my monocle, but you can't see.
I couldn't.
And you kind of have the amulet too, so.
So let me see. She's gonna whistle and cast dancing lights.
Okay. Create your dancing lights, giving this multicolored hue around you as you.
I'm picturing a rave party going on right now.
Yeah. As you head down into the darkness. I'm gonna cut back to Chad. Chad, you are following your mother through the city, eventually reaching. I have a question. You were there in the basement
With the necromancer.
necromancer.
Yeah.
I want to make sure you reach
Yeah, that
a
was
very
Jules' dog.
yeah. You reach a very familiar building, the blacksmith, where all those people were murdered by dog. And as she draws you inside and towards the back of the room, there's that box that she kind of pulls away, revealing that passageway. She says, "It should be down this way."
I've actually been here before, but I don't think we found the obelisk then.
Oh, do you think it's not here?
We didn't check everything, but no, if it's not here, then we've got no clue, so we might as well check.
All right. Quickly, it's getting late. And she leads or follows you down the passageway.
I do want to quickly try and grab some kind of weapon from the blacksmith shop upstairs.
Yeah, you can do that. You grab there's probably a sword, just like a standard long sword.
And the shield as well, or
Sure, I'll give you a shield. You at least pick up like the top of a barrel, the lid of a barrel, and use that as your shield. It'll work. It might not make it more than one battle, but it'll work.
Yeah.
And the sword itself is a little damaged too, but it'll function. You come kind of like pulling through this narrow tunnel, which finally emerges into that same chamber that you remember fighting the necromancer in before. There is another passage leading out from here that wasn't there previously. Like a new tunnel has been dug into this chamber. And there's still the ladder leading up to another like hatch out. And your mother, I think she waves a hand, and she also like creates like a mode of light in her hand, which she holds and looks down the passageway and says, "It must be this direction."
yeah, this is new.
I can't say that I'm going to be much use in a fight if it comes to that, but I'm going to do my best.
Just try not to get hurt.
I will.
Can take on an army of demons, but I don't want you getting hurt.
I know. Come on. We're almost done. Very quickly, the two of you almost at a jog, heading down the passageway, and it slants for a long time before it finally levels out into a cavern stone all around you, a large like pocket of empty space, like a natural formation beneath here that you never would have known was here underneath the city. They as you scan around the room, there are some like natural rock formations that catch your eyes in weird shapes and colors, and you kind of flinch for a moment, thinking that somebody might be in here. But you don't see any people, though you do see signs that people have been in here, like packed earth, people like walking through. And then, from the light in your mother's hand, you can see beyond a glint, a reflective sheen. You see in the darkness, about 100 yards away, the black stone reflective face of an almost identical obelisk to the one you saw before.
Okay, so what is the plan? You said our blood can control it, but I imagine if we just wait to see if it activates, because you also said it opens it, but...
It does. I don't know exactly. I only know what my father told me. But the Bandit King, whoever they are, is going to try to open this portal tonight. I don't know when, but I'm assuming they're going to be here soon. And we could stay here and we could fight them and keep them from opening it, or we can try to stop them, to seal it, to destroy it, so they can't use it. And this is only temporary, because as soon as they're done with this, they're just going to move to the one in Glanbala. We need to go there next, and quickly.
Alright, give me a minute to think. Go ahead and turn out the light. We can both see in the dark.
She snuffs out the light.
Okay. Think about your training, Chad. This is tactics. This is a battle. All right. Here's what I'm thinking. I don't know that I trust my ability to control whatever this power is. I don't even know how we'd go about doing it. So my instinct is to wait until whoever is going to come shows up, try and stop them, maybe at that point, use our blood to try and stop it, but at least that way we would know for sure who the Bandit King is. But I'm just worried about it going wrong if we try and stop it prematurely. But then does that leave us too narrow a window to stop it when the real villains show up?
I don't know. I don't know. I have the same doubts. You're stronger than I am. If anyone can control it, it's you. I'm worried that I would be tempted by the power.
All right.
But I also know that whoever this is, whoever's behind it, they have forces. They're powerful. And I don't know if the two of us can stop them.
Okay. You may not like this part of this plan, but if you leave, go to the Iron Creek Inn. That's where my party is staying. Someone may still be there. Let them know what is going on. Let them know that I'm over here, and I'll take, unless the guards took it from me originally, I will take the signet ring that I have on my necklace for her to give to whoever is there. Let them know what's going on. Let them know, where I am, that I'm here to try and stand against whoever shows up, and that, if they can, they should get here as soon as possible. But that my plan is to wait to see who shows up. If I don't think I can fight them off, I'll try and, jump the gun on the obelisk and then see how things play out from there.
All right. I suppose that's the best option. If you don't... Sealing it's probably the best last-ditch effort. I just... Okay, I trust your decision. She takes the signet ring. She says, I'll go. Be careful.
I will try.
And she begins to hurry, jogging up the passage that you came from into the darkness. And Chad, I need you to make another wisdom saving throw.
All right. Well, wishing I had saved my legend point. That's a 3.
And there is a voice that echoes from the chamber. Chad, Chad, Chad. You couldn't have made this easy, could you? And you find yourself sort of frozen in place, not moving. Once again, compelled to stand there. And you see the figure of your mother stop. And she turns around. And as she does, you see her tiefling form sort of begin to melt away. And her face contorts and shifts. And you see Irene. And she says, I tried my best to make this easy. But I suppose this is the only way. Your mother's long gone, dear. But it would have been too troublesome to try to drag you down here otherwise. Well, come on. Let's go. And you find yourself turning on your heel and walking towards the obelisk. She says, really, most of what I told you was true. Your blood is very special. I just was worried that doing it this way might corrupt it somehow, but I don't see I have any other choice. And you find yourself walking straight up to the obelisk and standing in front of it, and you feel that same call in the back of your head, that same pull, that drive, that connection. And you also feel like you hear something else. You think you hear footsteps. Voices. Sounds like Hilda, but very far off. And Irene stops for a second. Sort of clicks her tongue and she says, your friends are very persistent.
Am I able to speak at all or completely?
Yeah, you're just sort of zoned out, but you see her and you still have your thoughts in your head.
Mm-hmm.
And she walks around you and she sort of looks into your eyes with that sort of cold smile once again. She says, I'm afraid we don't have much time, so... well, this is the way it's going to have to be. And she... you find yourself holding up your hand and looking at it. And you take the rusted longsword and you drag it across your hand. And you see the blood beginning to pool and kind of run down your arm. You can make one more wisdom saving throw.
Let me just double check, because I'm pretty sure whether or not I get Indomitable back on Yeah, it's a long rest, so nope. Well, that is another 4.
And you push against it, and you try, and you look at the blood on your arm, and she gives you a nod. She says, "It's going to be all right. Mother's coming." And you put your hand to the stone, and you run it down the face. And the rest of you, Hilda and Finn, come down the passageway. Hilda, you're being drawn by the amulet, and you find yourself stepping into this massive cavern, and you look straight ahead of you, and you see the black obelisk sitting there in the center, and you see Chad standing next to it, arm outstretched, blood dripping off of his elbow, and you see a hooded figure next to him, and in the little bit of light that you have cast across their kind of dancing shadows across the darkened cavern, you see Irene with a smile across her face. And then there is a crack, like a frozen pond fracturing, and you see a schism in the air above the obelisk form instantaneously, like a mirror broken. And pouring out from that, you see fire worming its way through the cracks, a dark, malicious-looking flame. And it cracks again, and you see more splinters running off of it. And Irene gives a nod. She smiles. She steps back from you, Chad. She says, "This is only the beginning." And she takes a vial from one of her from her pocket, and she kind of holds it under up to your arm, and you watch the vial sort of like begin to fill with blood as Hilda and Finn are quickly moving towards you.
Yeah.
She stoppers it, steps back, and there is a flash, and she teleports away.
Does it have a chance to shoot the vial?
You guys have a reaction if you wanted to do something, but
Can I try to counterspell her teleporting?
you could try to counterspell her teleporting.
Okay, I'm gonna do it at 5th level.
Okay, let's go ahead and
I'd
roll.
be pulling out the gun to shoot, so if it succeeds,
I'll say you can roll and make an initiative check, Finn.
I'm good with those.
Okay.
So set a DC here. Oh, well, that's far above anything I was going to set as your DC. Make an attack roll. You get one attack roll. And Hilda, you roll plus your, I guess, is it your charisma?
Charisma, yeah. For the spell. Okay. It's like, oh no, you don't. Oh gosh. Okay, get out of the box. Let's see. 17.
It is a 7th level spell.
Okay, I don't know what that means. Did it work or no?
Would succeed.
Okay.
Finn, what's your attack
10
roll?
plus 20 to hit.
Okay, and you're aiming for the vial?
Yeah.
All right. You fire the gun. Hilda, she begins to cast a spell and begins to teleport, so you begin to vanish as space is almost pulled around her. And then you call out in this sort of melodic screech and kind of pull your arms aside, and you find yourself sort of ripping space away from her. And she stands there kind of lurching forward, staggering for a moment, and in that moment you hear another explosion, a crack from Finn, and the vial just shatters in her hand, seeing blood scattering across the ground behind her. And she lets out a shriek as this happens in fury. And at that moment, sort of oscillating with the explosion or her shriek, suddenly the world above the Autolus shatters, and you see the portal open.
Oh,
and you
no.
see darkness and flame beyond, and you hear the marching of 1,000 demons and devils upon the gates of the material plane. And that's where we're going to end our session for tonight.
When I shoot, can I also yell out, "Get away from him, you bitch!" Like the alien. Get
Yeah,
away from him, you bitch!
Yeah.
Boom.
she shrieks, and then she gets
Oh.
sucked out into space. All right.
Gosh.
Guys, that was a very narrative episode, but thank you for coming with me on that journey. I did not know if we were going to get there.
On the plus side, the door's barred behind us, so Dirk is safe.
Yeah.
I really care about Dirk. He better make it.
Definitely gonna withstand armies of devils. Oh gosh. I'm scared.
Yeah.
And excited.
That's... We'll talk about it off stream, but that was great.
If I had a low wisdom, I would be thinking, wait, Chad's the Bandit King?
Yeah, basically. We have no idea what's happening.
And I don't think mending's gonna fix the roof.
So, thank you, everyone, thank you, players, for being here. Thank you, internet, for enjoying. We'll be back next Saturday to continue this, to see what happens next in our journey here.
And to top it off, someone's gonna jump out of that fucking stone and be like, "What's going on? Oh shit!"
Yeah.
Welcome.
Hopefully, maybe we'll have Savannah here next week, maybe even Orion. We're gonna get a lot of surprised.
Just have all the previous guests come in.
Yeah.
Everybody out of the box! Everybody out!
Can't talk, gotta run.
All right. But yeah, thanks for watching. We got lots of streams coming out throughout the week. Definitely tune in for our next stream, which will be on Monday. Or Motley Mondays, and Alex is going to be running a one-shot, and hopefully won't torment me in the same way I've tormented him. So...
Well, now that you've given me that idea,
Well,
You did just remove his mother from him.
We will see everyone next Saturday. I'll end on that. And until next time, everyone, good game, and good night, internet.
good night, internet.
Bye, friends.